Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, and you can find this 139 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you can find a podcast in the galaxy far, far away. You can watch me terribly fail at video games Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
And you can watch me play video games every single Monday night at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
And you can find both of us occasionally on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's NICKVERN. And this week's episode, the director is back. That's right, Director Chronic is here. We're talking gaming, we're talking the Garrison, and we're talking about what the heck is happening in the gaming world. I wrote none of that intro for the first time in 139 episodes, and it came out great. So congratulations, Marcus.
Wow, did I do that right? I think it's because I was just thinking about what it would be like if I was introducing Chronic.
Yeah.
And we haven't even let him talk yet. But I just, for the record, everybody, Chronic is about to lie to you and tell you he's drinking bourbon. He's really drinking a spritzer.
Wow.
So anyways, welcome to the show, Director Chronic. And what have you been up to?
Well, first and foremost, I've been up to sipping this delicious bullet bourbon neat, the most manly of beverages in front of me. Not that I'm overcompensating from my previous drink from the last appearance here that you guys said would not make it into the episode and ended up being the highlight at the beginning. So I appreciate that so much.
Well,
but I'm doing.
We got your back.
Yeah, clearly. How you guys doing?
We are fantastic. Oh, dude, it's so good to have you back. It's really good to hear your voice here again. And, I want to know, what have you been doing in the gaming world? Because a lot's changed. I think a lot's changed for you since the last time you were on the show with streaming and everything else.
Yeah. I think the last time I talked to you guys, we were still riding out the peak of, partnership and Star Wars and all that. And, Marcus, I know I don't have to write this all out and spell it all out to you, but, the Star Wars gaming has been pretty much in the gutter for a very long time now. And, you're playing a very old game. I'm playing a very old game, and Battlefront, of course, I'm talking about SWTOR with you. It's hard to keep that going. And, Battlefront 2, on top of the age problem, has technical issues, and there's a new hack in the game. And not to get too into details, but there's a current hack where the person is, you have to be in your lobby, and they can hack the lobby, and your character never dies, and nobody on the other team ever dies. So it's like an infinite life glitch, which essentially makes the game unplayable. So you can imagine it's very frustrating to play it, let alone stream it. So yeah, I've kind of, I've been doing variety for about 6 months now, just kind of playing whatever I want. And I'm very blessed and thankful to have a community that sticks around for whatever I'm doing. So I've just been kind of playing whatever interests me. And right now I've been streaming a lot of Dead by Daylight, which was always my go-to off-stream game. Like if you ask me, Chronic, what do you do after you're done streaming? What's your cool down process after a stream? I usually eat dinner, take a shower, and some nights jump on Dead by Daylight. I would keep gaming, and that was my stress release game.
Wow.
So I'm taking a game I already had love for and a passion for, and I brought it to my community, and they blew me away by showing up and supporting, because I've seen other partners switch and pivot from Star Wars or Battlefront into other categories, and it absolutely they go from 100 viewers down to single digits or whatnot. And it's really hard to watch something like that happen. But, I always prided myself on really getting to know my community and being very transparent, open, and honest. And I've been like that since day one. And I've befriended a lot of people too. So when you have friends and you have people rooting for you and supporting you, I find that it really doesn't matter what you're playing, as long as you bring the same atmosphere, the same energy to what you're doing. Those people will come back and they'll show you the love. I have no doubts that there will be some, as you pivot to new stuff, that people, there'll be a little bit of a loss of, viewership or whatnot here or there. But for the most part, I'm blessed to switch to another game, at least for now, until new Star Wars games come out, because I'm still a Star Wars content creator. I'm still Director Chronic. It's still the Garrison. Everything is immersed within Star Wars. We're just playing something else mostly right now. And, when the next Star Wars game comes out, great. But for the time being, I'm very, very thankful that I have a core community that shows up, and I can play a new game and start in a new category with the viewership and with the community that I have.
Well, it's tough. It's really tough to go from, your community, which was Battlefront, and then, they shut off all service to the game or support. And they basically said, we're done. EA pulled the plug, but yet look at what they released in Battlefield 2042. And honestly, I'm just saying, with all the craziness going on in gaming right now, for me, I'm hearing all this stuff, and you guys can let me know if I'm right or wrong. Maybe maybe stopping development on that game was a mistake. Or was it EA saying this game needs to be released holiday 2022, no matter broken or not? Here you go. Because I'm listening to another podcast, and they were actually talking about how Battlefront 2 was fleshed out. It played great. The game mechanics worked in the game. They figured out the heroes and villains. And of course, there's going to be balancing issues as you play a game. But they said that they went back and played Battlefield 4, and then they played 2042, and they said Battlefield 4 had more options for back then. In the game, 2042 didn't look that much better than Battlefield 4, which is a 10-year-old game.
I tweeted about this the other day, dude. The EA pretty much came out and said it finally, that it was a disappointment, that 2042 did not meet their expectations. And I quote tweeted it, and I put, "This is what they body bagged Star Wars for."
Mm-hmm.
That was my exact quote. This is the game that they body bagged Star Wars for. They literally just let that game die. And it was literally in the peak of the game. They just released prequel trilogy characters and maps, and the game was starting to take a pivot, and the player base was starting to soar again. They made the game free on Epic Game Store January of last year. And then they, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it was, hey, we need to get this game developed and crush sales before the holiday season and all that stuff. So, it's unfortunate, but it's what they did.
And moving on from that, I think they must regret it, right? Because now, if you look at it, now they allowed the modders to go in there, and it was just a matter of time before a hacker goes in there and destroys a game, right? As soon as they know that you can do whatever you want in that game and no development team is going to stop you, of course they're going to make the glitch. Remember the glitch in Modern Warfare 2, Nick, where you could go underneath a rock and then just shoot people?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it took months and months for them to fix it because they just didn't care.
Yeah.
They were getting their sales and just move on.
Right.
I don't know.
Or, you could get into areas of the map that you weren't supposed to be able to, and then you could shoot people from super far away. All kinds of, I remember lots of different things from Modern Warfare 2.
But, the Star Wars franchise in itself is in a tough spot, but with the news that we got, did we talk about it last week? I don't remember.
What, the Microsoft acquisition?
No. With the Star Wars news, the 3 games that were announced.
Yes, we did. We talked about it last week.
But I think in the future, in the coming like next 2 years, I would say 2 to 3 years, I think there's going to be an abundance. Like Star Wars games are going to be back, and in a big way.
I think so too.
You know, between Fallen Order 2, you're going to have
that first person shooter that they're making.
The Skywalker Saga, the
Lego
first person shooter, and then they're making I'm guessing it's going to be like an RTS mobile game. That's my opinion. It's going to be like that Clash of Clans
strategy game.
Yeah, strategy
but
game.
Yeah, probably something like that.
And I feel like all the Star Wars streamers, so there's another streamer I really like. I think he was a Star Wars streamer and now he streams Destiny because everything is Star Wars, right? His emotes, everything. And I think with the content drought of Star Wars, like Chronic's saying, he has to pivot. But Chronic, you are blessed, man, to be able to have a community that just says, fuck it, we're following you. Because we've seen it in how many other streamers we actually know.
Right.
That they stopped playing Star Wars games. And like you said, they were in single digits.
Yes.
Like
from 100 plus.
Right. 100 plus. And we'll use Serp as an example. When he switched to Sea of Thieves, his channel tanked.
Yeah. He's open and honest about that.
Yeah. He talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And now, I mean, I'll be honest with myself. Like, I'm not a partner. I'm not anything, but my viewership has gone down significantly. And because I play SWTOR and that's all I've ever streamed. And I've started dabbling in Destiny too. And I see a difference in it, but like, I'm happy playing Destiny, and you have to be happy in the game that you're playing no matter what.
And just to flush out your remark about Serp, just in case people missed his episode or don't know, the bounce back after that, which is super motivating. And me and him were always community first streamers, and Serpent is literally a brother to me. And me and him are going to have potentially some pretty big news for something we're doing together shortly, which would be pretty awesome when we can finally announce it. But
slide into my DMs and let me know.
Yeah, I'll give you a little hint.
It's only the three of us talking.
Yeah. Listen. Don't make. I have a problem with spilling the beans on.
Hey, Nick, didn't we tell him that the last time when he was telling us about his drink because he didn't want to tell us, and we were like, it's just us three, and he's like, oh yeah, we're not recording, we're not recording at all, and then. And then it was clearly recording, and then we found about the cranberry copper spritzer.
Yeah, copper. I like that. Yeah. Oh, now I don't trust you. I'm just kidding. Not really.
Well, not when we're recording. You definitely shouldn't.
Listen, you could get me because it was before we were like really into the episode. So I was like, maybe they're not recording. And then you guys, hit me with the RKO when you put it in the beginning of the episode. But it's all right. Let it. It's water under the bridge.
I want to look it up.
But anyway, back to the thing with Serp is he had that hard knockdown, but look at him now. Like the guy is destroying it on Sea of Thieves. He's a Sea of Thieves partner, and his viewership is higher than ever. But that doesn't happen for everybody, and I think there's a lot of reasons why. First of all, he found a game that he enjoys playing, just like I've now found a game that I've liked playing on stream as well. And unlike Battlefront 2, or just playing any game in general that you're not enjoying, it will eventually come across on stream. And here's the thing. I love Battlefront 2 up till the very last time I played it. It just had its moments where it was just a burnout session. And I learned to find out that days where I didn't feel great after streaming, which is very rare for me, but when I did, they were usually after a Battlefront stream. And I tend to not stream that long. Like I can only tolerate 3 hours of Battlefront before it's like the lobbies, the hacking, the replay of, replaying the same mode again and again. It just gets to you and you want something fresh. And what the telltale sign for me, guys, that it was time, because I was already doing variety. And here's another thing. I gave myself a buffer zone. I've done variety for 6 months. So it wasn't like I was full-time shoving Battlefront 2 everywhere and then went cold turkey somewhere else. I've gone a very, very soft transition and have been navigating in a gray area for a while now. So all the Battlefront 2 only viewers, I feel like most of them have probably stopped watching or have left already. And everybody who's left is here for me and is here for the community, here for the vibes. And I always wanted to be that creator. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Being a variety content creator is not a way to secure rapid growth or viewership. Every streamer will tell you variety is just not the way to, snowball into like a rapid growth session. But I will tell you what it will do. The people who stick around for whatever you're doing are real ones, are the absolute real ones. And
Yes.
I've been doing that for 6 months, bonding, creating friendships with the real ones. And now that I'm streaming a hell of a lot of Dead by Daylight, first of all, a lot of them enjoy the game, which I was both shocked and pleased by. But then the ones that even don't are staying in stream and asking questions about the game, rather than just leaving and going, oh, Chronic's not pew-pewing today. There's no lightsaber on my screen. I'm gone. They go, no, what is this game about? What are you doing? And and that is something you can build off of. And that's something that I'm very, very thankful for. And I'm saying it for the third time, but I'm very appreciative that I bonded with my community and that we have this kind of vibe that we can kind of navigate wherever we want. And, Star Wars is always a part of it too. Like we'll talk about Star Wars while we're playing other games. It's always there.
I understand what you're saying, right? And I'm finding it even in our community with Destiny. Since I started playing it more, Chronic, people are starting to play the game. Like there's like one of the most active channels in the Nerds community Discord is the Destiny 2 channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are like, well, tell me about the game. I'd like to know. And, for you playing Dead by Daylight, I don't even know what it is. And I'm going to be honest. I've been dying to say this to you because I haven't had a voice conversation with you in a while. I really thought you were going to start playing Escape from Tarkov. Ask me why. I kept saying to myself, when is he going to start playing that game?
Because I used to play it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like,
not on stream though.
All right. So I thought for sure that you were going to be a Tarkov player because it had the gearing and the grinding because you do like MMOs, but you also like your shooters.
Yeah.
And how you Dead by Daylight is a community game because anybody from your community can just jump in your game for a game and then see you later and you rally.
By the way, cross platform, by the way.
Yes.
Not unlike BF2, could only play with PC people. So if you were in my channel and you're on Xbox or PlayStation, sorry, you're not gaming with me. Now I'm playing a game. And I know this sounds like it's small, but it's actually huge when you're a content creator and you are a community first content creator. You have people that want to join you for games. Like Saturday, I've been doing open lobby days on Dead by Daylight. Think I could do that on Battlefront 2? Get the fuck out of the room. There's zero shot. You can't do it.
Right.
But Saturday, I've been doing an early 2 p.m. stream. I open the lobbies up and all you got to do is redeem channel points. You join the game and it doesn't matter what you play it on. That's humongous, dude. And that's something that really limited my interaction with people in my community is that, it's 2022 and I'm playing a game that isn't cross-platform. It's, another notch in the death of BF2, honestly.
I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I don't know. I mean, it's sad that Battlefield 2 is dying like that, but yeah, you got to move on to things that you can engage with more. It's hard to be in this weird transition point, and it's hard to stay on brand when we don't have a good Star Wars game that's engaging to play.
That's such a great way to say it. That's such a great way to say it. Yeah.
And like you were saying earlier, it's like I have Star Wars emotes. I have, you know what I mean? If people come in and they know Dead by Daylight and, they get gifted a sub or subscribe themselves and they open up the emotes and, it's Star Wars. And, hopefully they like Star Wars too, but that's my branding. That's me. That's my channel. And I have no plans on changing that because, as soon as the next Star Wars game comes out, the Lego Skywalker saga, I'm going to be streaming the crap out of that. So, I still consider myself a variety streamer. I'm not sitting here saying I'm a Dead by Daylight streamer. It just happens to be the game that I'm playing a lot of right now.
Right.
Could that change? Maybe things take off. Maybe I enjoy the streams, which I am, and it keeps happening. But for now, I'm open.
So in 19 days, the Witch Queen comes out in Destiny 2.
And Marcus's life is over.
No. Chronic. You should buy that expansion. Everybody's starting off at one level, so you don't have to worry about all the elites being elite, right? Everybody's starting off at the beginning. It's a true expansion where they wipe everything. You're starting off at the ground level. Everybody's starting at the same gear level.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Right. Like, you're not walking into something that isn't brand new. Like,
Everybody.
like obviously there's people that understand the game completely and it's not a brand new game. But when you're coming in at a brand new expansion, like everybody's experiencing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Chronic, you like MMOs and you like shooters. I'm in love with this game. It gives me the MMO vibe of SWTOR, and it gives me the first-person shooter of Call of Duty that I love. And the grind is real, just like New World or SWTOR or World of Warcraft, everything. Dude, I'm telling you, you should give it a shot.
Just like you said, like with Dead by Daylight, you don't know an ounce about it. That's me with Destiny. I know. I've heard of Destiny. I know it's a game. Like, I know it's been around for a while. I know it has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Other than watching your streams, you know what I mean, and just seeing the gameplay, I don't know much about the nuances of it. And it's always been on my radar. And dude, you've always kind of nudged me to try it out. So,
well, I'm only saying it because it's really hard. So I came into the game late, right? I'm late into the game, and it was hard for me to catch up because everybody was already max level. So I was the little baby guy. Oh, we got to carry Marcus through this thing because he needs to get a couple light levels, which is basically your gear score. But now, like, the expansion's coming out and everybody's starting off at the ground. Like, I'm probably going to buy Nick the expansion just to make him fucking play it. And just
it's all a part of the
it.
plan to get the expansion.
Well, 100% Nick. It's my plan. It's because if
my plan to get the expansion for free.
Well, right. But
Look,
I know
you'll
long
enough, Marcus.
If you can pass the two, if I can get you to play it more than twice, you'll be hooked. Because Nick doesn't like an MMO. But it's really not an MMO. It's really like a looter shooter, which is kind of an MMO.
Yeah.
But the game is so good that, like, I'm trying to build a community within our community of playing that game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I 100% do, because I'm doing that just with a different game right now. Like, there's a lot of parallels in the things that you are saying, Marcus, that are along the same track that I feel like I myself am on right now.
Right. And I will say the one downside to Destiny is it's really truly a 3-person game, because that's your fire team, 3 people. And if you do the raids or like the 6-person content, which is like missions or like instant stuff, it's really a 3-person game. So it does make it hard to play with everybody. We're like in Call of Duty, Nick and I could get in and get 10 other people to join us and just go buck wild in a lobby. You know what I mean? But either way, I guess my question to you is, what do you like the most about Dead by Daylight, and what do you miss from like a Battlefront that Dead by Daylight doesn't have?
It's a good question. First, to answer the first part, Dead by Daylight is different than any other game I've ever played. And as somebody who likes to be challenged and be being told that a game is different was interesting to me. And then I played it and I got my ass kicked. And like most people do when they first play Dead by Daylight, is they get their ass kicked and they go, I don't like this game. And then they leave it, which I did. I did that first time I played it. Then I met friends who were good at the game that had played it a little bit, and they started teaching me, and I was like, oh my god, this isn't just a game where 4 people are running from a killer. I mean, essentially that's what this game is. But learning how to loop properly and to mind game the killer, and looping is the art of using tiles on the map to because those survivors in Dead by Daylight, you do not have a weapon, so you're just running from it's an asymmetrical horror game, 4v1, the 1 killer versus the 4 survivors.
Right.
Killer obviously has a weapon and a special ability, and there's a ton of killers in the game, and that's part of the nuance too, is that each killer has different abilities, and you need to learn how to counter each specific one. You don't know if you're loading in who you're loading in with. It could be Michael Myers, it could be Jason, it could be one of their original killers. You don't know, and that's another thing you need to play around. And then you go in there. So you have to not only play around the killer, you have to play around the specific map, and that game is chock full of maps. And the map changes every single play because where a window or a pallet might be that would save you, it could be somewhere else in another game. So just knowing that I had to learn everything from scratch, most people would get intimidated by that. I loved it because if you played one first-person shooter, like I could take you out of Black Ops and I could put you into Apex. I could take you out of Apex, maybe put you into, at least the shooting mechanisms in Destiny, and it's all kind of the same thing. The thing that allured me about this game was that it was something completely different. It was about looping, mind gaming, time management, teamwork, all that stuff. And then if you want to switch it up, you don't even have to play Survivor. You can go be the killer and load in. Like today on stream, I played killer. I normally play Survivor, but today loaded in and did killer just to switch it up. And it's different content, and it's different content within the same game in a different perspective.
Oh, so, wait. So it's not random?
What do you mean?
So
no. You queue as a killer or you queue as one of 4 survivors.
Oh, that's...
So today I let everybody know at the beginning of stream, I go, I'm in a killer mood today. I want to go kill some people. And they were like, oh my God, you never play killer. You know what I mean? It's like fun, new content, but it's the same game. It's a completely different perspective because the killer plays in first person. Survivors play in third person. So it's literally a different experience for the player and for the viewer.
I forgot the killer plays in first person. That's a big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Yep. So I really enjoy that about the game. And then to answer your second part of the question of how is this different from a Battlefront 2 stream? Well, obviously the energy, first and foremost. I'm a very honest, open person. The energy of my stream is not the same. If you walk into a Battlefront 2 stream with Director Chronic versus a Dead by Daylight stream, the energy is very, very different. Battlefront is, but that's also, that's not, energy doesn't necessarily mean better. And I'm going to explain that part as well. Because I said earlier, I could do Battlefront for 3 hours before the gaskets in my brain started blowing, my blood pouring out of my ears and my heart racing and sweat, and you just want to shut the stream down and go take a shower and be done for like a week. Dead by Daylight, I streamed for 13 hours on Saturday with no intention of going anywhere near that long. And Marcus, I'm a 4-hour-ish streamer at most.
Wow.
Well,
I went 13 hours because I told Chad, as long as I'm having a good time, I'm going to keep streaming. And I kept my word. Did I get a little tired towards the end? Yeah, but I was still having fun. So I kept streaming, and I streamed for 13 hours. If I was streaming Battlefront, that would have been an entire week of streams. An entire week of streams in one sitting because I'm enjoying the game that I'm playing. And the other part of that too is that people are seeing more of me rather than just the director in the Garrison. That's kind of like, I put a little showmanship into my stream, and I never want to lose that quality, but it's definitely over the top and a little exaggerated with the Battlefront streams. I get to be more of me and get to showcase a little bit more of myself, which, rather than shying away from that, I'm fully embracing it with the Dead by Daylight and with the variety streams. And, but yeah, that's probably the biggest difference. And, it's not all a bad thing. It's just a different vibe.
It's 100% a different vibe. And, you actually said something that actually hit home. Other than last night in Destiny 2, because just for the record, everybody, I'm just going to say this once, and I'm not going to say anything until later about it, but I was streaming and Nick texted me like, motherfucker, you need to watch Boba Fett ASAP. Like, shut your shit off and go. And I'm like, oh God. And literally 2 hours into my stream, I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. Boba Fett time. Peace. Gone. And I do understand what you're saying, because sometimes lately when I've been streaming SWTOR, I've been getting just after a couple hours, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like I need to just go. But sometimes like playing Destiny, I'll stream 3 hours and it won't even feel like 3 hours.
Yes. 100.
And I'm like, whoa. Or I'll give an example. Watching Nick stream Halo in the beginning, it was like pulling teeth to get him to play.
Yeah, that's not my style of game.
No. But sure. Now he's fucking into it.
That's true. In the beginning, because I was doing all the side stuff. Yeah, it was like a lot of the side missions in the Halo Infinite campaign are like the exact same thing. Go to this spot, kill the Covenant, and press a button. You know what I mean? I was making a joke on that. about that in the stream. Go here, kill the Covenant, press the button. Go here, kill the Covenant, press the button. Go here, kill the Covenant, and press the button.
Right.
But anyways, so I was like kind of bored of it, especially after Horizon Zero Dawn, where the quests are all kinds of crazy different things. But as I went through the story, now there's more lore attached to it, and I got a lot more interested. But I totally get what you're saying with like being disengaged from the game that you're playing. It's a totally different energy.
100%. And also too, and Nick, because you play multiple different games and each game has a different vibe. And like you were saying, Chronic, like when I'm playing Destiny, it's a complete different vibe for me than when I'm playing SWTOR, because except when I'm doing nightmare raiding, like I'm just there focusing on the chat and just losing it. But when you're playing a game that you need to focus on, it's hard to follow the chat and play the game.
I apologize for that multiple times today, and especially because you got to think, I'm just started streaming a lot of DVD, but I have not played Killer, and I apologize to chat multiple times because like I wasn't even understanding jokes. Like jokes were going like way over my head because I'm so concentrated on the game. It's like a high pressure situation. First of all, it's 1v4, so you know what I mean. You're juggling 4 real life players, and I had some really tough lobbies today, and I'm like, I mean, if I want to play decently, I'm still a community first streamer, but to have, I want to have a decent game and I want to put on a good performance. And it's just hard to navigate that in chat, at least for now. So I completely get it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Can I say this too? Like,
you can say anything you want. This is your show.
No. It's your show.
We're just,
it's your show.
But I want to piggyback off something else you said, because you said when you go into Destiny from SWTOR, you feel those differences with it. And for me, for the longest time, and I think once again, I'm glad I went variety for half a year, the last 6 months, because I got to change my mental state on this too. But also I feel like the viewers that were like, I only want Star Wars and that's it. And then then you know what? I hate to say this. I kind of don't want you on this journey, because I want people who are here for me in the community, because I think it's a bigger thing than even Star Wars. Star Wars is the bread and butter, is the home base. But this is about way more than that. This is about the friendships, the bonds, the conversations we have in chat, the memeing, the trolling. It's everything. That is all bigger to me than even Star Wars. And so I didn't have that mentality though 6 months ago. It was the point I'm trying to make, is that like I felt like I was betraying my community or viewership by playing a different game. And I was going to ask you, Marcus, I was going to put you in the hot seat and ask if you ever have those thoughts or feelings when you play a different game that you are letting people down.
Yes. Here's full transparency, man. On stream, when I announced this was last week, that I am streaming 7 days this week straight. Every day I'm streaming Destiny. I'm not streaming any SWTOR. I've been thinking about it for a while, and there's some people in the community that I've been chatting with that have really had my back. And, the community is always like, play what you want and do what you want. And, we'll always be here for you. But the truth is, like, and I'm going to call myself out. Honestly, Chronic, like if I'm in Nick's stream, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like I always wanted to play it, but the bow mechanic turned me off. So I thought it's the dumbest weapon ever. Give me a sword or give me a gun, right? You're in a technological age. You don't need a bow that shoots lightning arrows, right?
Yeah, but your character is not technological. You're a primitive person.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is it's not my style of game. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed watching Nick play Horizon Zero Dawn because I always wanted to play the game, but I could never play it. And being there, but I also know that when he played Fallout, it was fucking stupid. I would stop in and say, yo, love you, bro. I'm out. Dumbest game ever. You know what I mean? And now with Halo,
I like Fallout.
Well, I know you love Fallout.
I think if I played Fallout 4 on stream, it might be a little bit more engaging.
No, you got to play a game that you never played before. If you're a story, but anyway, so I'm rambling, but my point is it's really hard. And I'm going through that right now, dude. Like the SWTOR community is amazing in every way. They are a tight-knit group of people. They support their streamers. They support their community members. They support, the nerds community and everybody around it. But when you switch a game, they are a tight-knit group. Like, they may like me as Marcus and they might like me, but if I'm not playing their game, it's probably hard for them to watch me play that game.
Yeah.
And we can say it's not that they don't like me, but I know for myself, I have a hard time watching somebody stream that the game that they're playing is not engaging to me. Right? Like, some of my favorite streamers play games that I just either don't get or I don't like. I try to stop by their stream and make sure I make a presence and like hello when I have time, because I'm super duper busy all the time. But I understand the other side of that is if you're not playing the game that these people love, you can't blame them for not wanting to come to your stream.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. And there's never been any, I've listened to streamers on their stream, ex Star Wars streamers who've, this one in particular, I'm not going to obviously say a name, but they went back to Battlefront. But I remember when they pivoted to 2042, the same game that we could credit for possibly killing it.
Yeah.
But they streamed 2042, and at one, I was just happened to be there when they blew a gasket, and they were like, you know what? Because they had rough viewership. I guess the revenue was down, and sometimes it cracks through on air, and he had that moment, and I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped because he was like, you know what? Fuck you, Star Wars fans. Fucking Battlefront, blah blah blah, and just went off the deep end about it. And I don't know, that vitriol. I don't have that in me. I don't understand that because like I said, most of my community sticks with me no matter the game. They might not be as active. They might just be lurking, or they might pop in or whatever, but they're there. I feel their presence and they didn't leave me or anything. But I guess that's what it feels like on the other end. If you really feel like when you switch to another game, first of all, I think that you need to look inward on that. This is my personal take on this. So, take it or leave it. But I think that's the content creator. It needs to look themselves in the mirror and go, what did I maybe not execute properly that I lost so much viewership and so many people the second I pivoted games? Because although every streamer will lose something when they leave a game, right? You have a lemonade stand. You've been selling lemonade for 3 years now, and now it's a golf ball stand. You know what I mean? The same people aren't going to show up. You just changed your whole brand overnight. I get that there's some drop off, but at the on the same other side of that token, if you're doing things right and you built a good community, I think the people will stay in your life, whether it's coming in to say hi, to resub, to chill, lurk, or whatever. If you have that going on, I don't think it will ever get that bad that you end up hating people because they're not there anymore.
I will say, and this is not a reflection of you, and I don't want it to sound like I'm a douche, because that's my rule number one, and the only rule in my life is don't be a douche. But once you see, as a streamer, once you hit that partner status, you can also take chances, right? If your goal is partner, right? If your goal is to make partner and you have 40 viewers all the time and you're playing a game and it's going great and your channel's growing and everything, but you can't play that game anymore and you pivot out of that game, you're taking a chance that you are not going to make partner and you're starting over. Where if you've already made partner, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want because you've already achieved the goal. Mm-hmm. Yes, your monetization may go down and your revenue may go down and your viewership may go down, but at that point, it doesn't matter anymore. And what I mean by that is you've already got the check mark, so you can just build your community and focus that way in the new game, right? But where you have done it better in a way is you've been doing a variety, because I remember when you started, I'm doing my quotation mark, cozy night, but it's not cozy when I show up at all.
No.
And
I know you don't know what the fuck I'm playing half the time, but you still come in and light it up or have a good time and say hi and
yes,
stuff.
Yes, of course. Yeah, but that's the point of it, right? That's what friends do, and that's what streamers get it. And that's the thing about this conversation that we're having on a podcast is not discussed outside of the podcast or outside of streamers, right?
Right.
Not a lot of the times. The only person that has really talked about this stuff is that Harris Heller guy. And he's put it out there like, look at, this is what happened when I switched from Twitch to YouTube. And my respect level for that guy, you can think whatever you want. My respect level is for that guy is at 100 because he put his balls on the table and was like, this is where it's at. But I believe in the content creation. I believe in my community. This is what we're doing. Same thing with you, Chronic. You achieved partnership. Your viewership was out of control. And you were like, dude, the game's done. I can't play it. I can play it 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And I fucking hate my life by the end of it because I just can't deal with the hackers and this and that. Because at one point when they were modding that game, Ventress and the Night Sister mod is the nicest mod I've ever seen in a game. Right? Because they had so many assets from Fallen Order.
That's
like,
right.
You know what I mean? And like,
see, well, that was all stuff done long after support left.
But
like,
that's
you know
what I mean.
Like, talk about dragging a carcass. Like, you know, we put makeup, you know, on a pig for a long time, you know, with the modding community.
Yes.
I mean, I'm thankful for that.
Yes.
Because that, you know what I mean? I'm the last person to make Twitch partner from Battlefront 2. Nobody's done it since I did. And I don't think anybody else will because that game is done. But I'm very thankful for that because I knew the door was closing on that. I knew that there was only so many more mods and the hacking problem was going to get worse and interest in the game was going to deplete over time. And unless you're like, you know, me or like 4 other people who can still stream Battlefront and have like partnership type numbers. But I'll even say this, since I've been doing variety, when I go back to Battlefront, let me just say this. It's actually one of my lesser performing streams across every metric. So that's when I really knew. I'm like, why would I even kill myself on this game when like actually there was like this weird crossroads where more people were interested in the new stuff I was doing than the Battlefront content. I could tell you by numbers. I could point to a graph that shows you that moment where my community shifted and was like, we know you're done with this game. We're kind of done with this game. Let's do something else for a little while. And I didn't even need them to say it to me. The numbers don't lie. The numbers told me they were ready for something new. And my mental state told me I was ready for something new. And yeah, it's nice being a partner. It's nice having that check mark, but this is going to sound, I don't know. This is going to sound a little, I don't know, facetious if I'm saying it at this point because I already have the check mark. But that was never my number one priority. And anybody who's close to me, any of my good friends that I've been with since my day one with 3 viewers will tell you that I was always a community first person. I wanted to get to know everybody, and that's never changed. And even though I have the check mark now, that is still my focus.
Well,
I want to build a community.
Of course it is. But once you have that check mark, if that is your goal, right? Any streamer always wants to get to the next level. We play video games to level up, right? Nobody wants to just stay even. Everybody wants the trajectory to go up unless you're doing it one night a week just to continue a community, right? And for me, it's for like in the back of your head, if you're not partner, you are trying to achieve that. And that if you weren't partner, you would be like, okay, fuck, what am I going to do? Right. And I'm not saying you are a community first streamer. Like look at your Discord and look at what that Discord creates. You know what I mean? Look at what we did with the Garrison stream where we raised $8,000 fucking dollars in 24 hours. Right. There was like,
that's crazy.
Right. Exactly. And everybody contributed, whether during a person's stream of $200 was met or fucking $3,000 was met. Doesn't matter. It's a fact of community, and nobody is questioning that with you. But you do know that anytime you switch games, it takes a hit, and I'm living that now. And you know what? But I can tell you guys, heart of hearts, I'm happy streaming, whether it's 3 viewers, 1 viewer, or 500 viewers. I am happy right where I am right now in streaming, and the people that are watching your stream know it. And I'm going to call a friend out. My friend Tabs, mod on my channel, very close friend, messaged me right after one of my streams and said, you need to do something else. I could tell you.
What were you streaming that day?
SWTOR.
Okay.
You need a break. And Nick, Nick, to Nick's credit, would tell me, Marcus, you've been playing SWTOR for 7 years.
Right. It's like, of course you're sick of it.
It's okay to take a break, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, the expansion's coming in 2 weeks or in 10 days or 12 days, whatever it is. I'm going to be playing the game, right? I love the game. But at the end of the day, if you keep playing a game that people can tell you don't love it, they're going to walk away because they're going to say this guy is not the same as he once was. And at the same time now, streaming Destiny, I'm going to use a different word than you, Chronic. I'm going to call them your ride or die, right? I have viewers, friends, community members, whatever you want to call them, that are the ride or die, that show up every stream, even like you said, even if it's for 5 minutes, you pop in, you don't even say a word and you gift a sub to somebody, just be like, hey, Marcus, you're my fucking homie. Gotta go, but I love you. See ya. Like, to us as streamers, that right there means more to us than anything else. A friend popping into a stream, even if it's for 2 minutes.
Right. Just say hi.
I have other people. Yes, exactly, Nick. Because everybody's busy and it is hard to watch a game that you don't love. But when somebody pops in and just to say hi, to us streamers, it means the world to us.
Yeah.
Because it lets the people know, hey, bro, I still care. Or hey, girlfriend, I still care. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we all three of us can agree to that. Wow, this has been a fucking deep convo, man.
I was gonna say you were giving Hera Seller all this credit, but I'm like, I think we need to give ourselves some credit because we went right into like soul bearing stuff. Like, this is some stuff that's been on my mind that I've never really articulated before, and we're doing it right now. Just the three of us, right? Just the three of us.
Yeah, just the three of us.
Yeah, nobody else is
just the three of us.
Yeah, let's do it.
But
you can
either way,
make it if you try.
But
I love this conversation
I
because
do.
I think it's relevant to not only a lot of creators just throughout Twitch, because how many people play one game for 10 plus years and stream that content nonstop? Nobody. I don't know anybody who does that. So
Right.
every content creator out there who's listening to this can hopefully, if you don't relate to it now, this will be good words of caution or advice for you in the future. But particularly Star Wars creators, where we're all been left in the dust with these ancient games, and we've had to try to entertain a Star Wars community while trying to keep our goddamn sanity. And you know what? I gave it my best shot. I can look back and say, man, I squeezed every last motherfucking drop out of Star Wars Battlefront 2 than anybody else can ever say it, because I literally got the check mark on this corpse game, and I made it as entertaining, and I did have fun on it, and I did have a great time, and I did what I could for as long as I could, but I had to fucking pivot.
Well, can we just say that he had his own character in the fucking game? I mean, that has to say something, everybody. Like, he was running around with Darla, which is his pug, on his back, just shooting people, screaming at the top of his lungs, night, 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 night. You know what I mean? Hopefully I didn't wake up the kids screaming. But my point is,
the soundproof ceiling's not done in there yet, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. They'll be fine. They're going to be waking up going, night, night. I'm in bed, daddy. But anyway, my point is that we all, if you're a creator and you're hearing this is from the heart for me. And it's hard because, like, I love something so much, but sometimes you need a break, and your ride or dies stick with you. And the people who don't care about, they care more about the game than the streamer. It sucks to say it, but like,
you can't worry about
you can't worry about it. And when you go from 20 something viewers or 30 something viewers, and I'm talking about myself, to fucking 3, you have to know that you're doing it because it makes you happy. And the people that get to show up are the ones who are there for you. You know what I mean? And I don't look at anybody down. I just keep playing the game that I'm loving right now. But it is hard.
And you know what? Partnership doesn't make you immune to that. And I know that it's hard to tell somebody who's, you know, like you said, if you're a streamer and you're not partner, there's something, and then you can say you don't care about it, but you know, it is very, I think, a truthful sentiment that it's the goal, right? You eventually want to hit 75 average and apply for partner. I don't think it needs to be an immediate goal. I think building a community, I would trade my check mark for my community any day of the week, you know. But the point that I'm trying to make, though, is is that I've watched partners go from 150 viewers on Battlefront, and they play this same game I'm playing right now, Dead by Daylight, go down to I'm not exaggerating, single digits from 150 plus. But that's what happens when you do just play the number game and take shortcuts and jump on trends, and then you don't actually build a community. You're like, quote unquote gameplay streamer, and then you switch games and you wonder where everybody went. Well, you never took the bonding time. You never had community nights. You never talked to viewers like they were not just names on your screen, but human fucking beings who are taking time out of their day to come on your channel and vibe with you. I've always appreciated that, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's all I cared about. I was so lonely when COVID started, and not going to work in person. And I used Twitch as a way to not only, it was a hobby, but it was also a social thing for me. So I always approached it with that angle, but I also wanted to have an entertaining stream, and I always brought that flair to it too. And it just mixed for an amazing experience that built this awesome community. And I would trade that in a heartbeat for a check mark, because Marcus, where you are right now, you could be there as a Twitch partner too. All you would have is more emotes, brother, and a fancy little check mark.
You can tell. I mean?
So
I've said this a million times, and there's probably only one person on the planet that two. Kogus knows and Nick knows. Being a partner for me is not the goal. My goal of Twitch streaming is the nerds community and connecting and helping people grow. That is it. This podcast is my home, right? Like Twitch streaming is just an added fun thing that I get to do that builds the nerds community. Having you on the podcast and helping your message get brought out, or getting Serp or Chimeri or Kogus or anybody. Fuck the Guardian Down podcast guys last week. Getting these people's voices heard is our goal, right? Nick streams one day a week, and it just is growing at his rate. But you watch people come in from the nerds community that don't even come into my streams, but they go see Nick every week in his stream. And that makes me so happy. I think last week somebody came in and was like, Nick, I love the podcast. I've never seen this person ever.
Right. Yeah, it was.
And he's like, I love your podcast, Nick. And I was like, whoa, I'm here too. And I started typing like, hey, I'm here. Big me. You know what I mean? But
the person was like, whoa, wait, is this the Marcus?
Yes, exactly. And my point is, that's what it's about. Just like you, Chronic. Partner for me isn't the goal. Sure, if I ever had 75 viewers and I had the credentials, would I accept it? I would probably have a long conversation with Nick about it before I said it, right? Because you see it coming. But the goal, right?
I always, my advice for people, especially when they're nearing the territory, and what people mentally think is near partner, is vastly different. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen people with partner push in their title with 15 viewers, and it's you shouldn't be stressing about this right now. You know what I mean? If I know the person, I've actually said this to people. I've actually DM'd people I'm close to. I'm like, you should not, this is not healthy for you to be focusing on this right now, because you're just going to be in for a world of pain and misery, to be honest. Yeah. But if you had to push me, push my feet onto the fire and pick a number, I'd be like, first of all, partner 75 is when you can apply. They're going to want to see that consistent and more often than not growing. So if you're not anywhere near 75, and 75 isn't the finish line, 75 begins the process of applying for Twitch partner.
Right.
If you are nowhere near 75, you are wasting energy, mental capacity, focusing on the wrong thing. You need to be appreciative of the people who are making your stream, whether it's 3, 15, whatever. Get to know them. And like you said, community build and vibe out. And if you're doing the right things and you're doing stuff like podcasts, YouTube, stuff for offline that I could be better at. Sometimes, I don't follow the own advice that I have, but I could be better on offline stuff. I'm trying to do more TikToks. I did TikTok today and last night. I have 3 TikToks total. I've done 2 in 2 days. That's the most I've ever done. So I'm trying to get better at this kind of stuff too. So practice what you preach kind of thing. Yeah. But honestly, don't worry about partner unless you're absolutely knocking on 75's door. And if you're not, it should be all about community and building your brand.
We're going to call a friend of the show out, right? Chimeri.
Okay.
Look at his community every episode. Oh my God. His shows, every stream. Hey, I've never in my life seen a streamer like Chimeri's chat go bananas the way they do.
Like
and everything is a meme against Chimeri. I think it's the name that like just flows with it. But his community is amazing, right? And he pushes every week, and it's comedy every single stream. And like your chat always out of control, all of ours, and that says something. You know what I mean? When you're community first, people are there. That's you know, I don't know.
That's the thing. You can go into another streamer's channel streaming the same game to triple the viewership. And, you know, I'm not trying to take shots or one over the other, but like they'll have 300 viewers and a comment and chat every 30 seconds and nothing's really going on. Nobody knows each other. Nobody's adding each other in the chat. I love when I look over and there's no comments for me. Like, I love when people are, because they're talking to each other. I just see reply to. That means my community is intermingling. And that's exactly what you want. Like you said about Discord. You can just go in my Discord general and just see that people are vibing, they're talking. And I want to see that on my Twitch chat too. That makes me so happy. Like, I don't need to be talked to at all times. Like, I love that people talk to each other. Like you said, you go in Chimeri's chat, they're vibing and they're making fun of him and trolling and all that shit. Like, I love those kind of streams. That's the ones I go to. I don't want to go sit in a 300 viewer channel where people are just staring at gameplay or just hard lurking and there's no interaction going on. But that's a better streamer because he has 300 viewers, or would you rather be in the streamer with 40, 50 viewers and people are just mingling and talking to each other, trolling, inside jokes like that? Give me that environment. And this is like indicative of me in real life too. I would rather go to an intimate dive bar with the boys and talk about sports and life and get real than go to a club and dress up and be there with 1,000 people
just be
dancing.
Smushed.
Yeah, that's how I look at those streamers. Like, nobody's really connecting. We're just having this joint experience. Whereas, you know, a smaller channel, you can go in there and you can vibe with people. Everybody knows your name. A little bit of cheers. You know what I mean? You walk in the bar, people go, name. Yeah. You walk in, hey Marcus, everybody fucking knows you. You know what I mean? You feel like you just walked in your buddy's house. That's what I want my stream to feel like. I don't care what the viewership's at.
Right.
Cheers.
Clink. So
cheers. Salud.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, boy.
Nick, what have you been up to this week?
So anyways, I feel like I probably shouldn't go into details.
No, you shouldn't.
No. But I'm single. Nick is back, baby.
Uh-oh.
The most eligible bachelor in the nerds community.
Whoa, ladies. Nick,
I'm not going to go into the details.
Everybody, hold on, Nick.
Way happier.
Hey, ladies,
no,
Nick's phone number
do that.
Is 413-867-5309.
Then nicely played. Well done. You got me with the 413. I was like,
gotcha.
Oh, no. That's obviously not my phone number. So anyways,
everybody knows that.
Things are good. I'm single, and that is a good thing. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that, in the words of Forrest Gump.
But you did do a shit ton of stuff this week.
I did. So I forgot in the midst of that chaos about gaming. But on Saturday, there was a giant mega snowstorm in the Northeast. So I was just snowed in all day.
Was it like 4 Saturdays worth of snow? Was it mega snowstorm?
No, we only got like 9 inches of snow.
I think I got 5.
Yeah, something like that. It sucked to shovel, but so anyways, I played like I think at least 10 hours of Halo Infinite multiplayer on Saturday. I was just crushing it.
Yeah.
I went through like multiple friend groups of Halo.
Dude, you were playing with Gronkin87, aka Jacob, aka My Little Pony MMO player. Yes.
My Little Pony online.
Yeah.
Hashtag MLP.
So my question is,
I was playing with Gronkin. I was playing with my roommate Paulo for a while. I was playing with like all different friend groups like throughout the day.
And what the nicest part is that Chronic was talking about Dead by Daylight earlier, Halo is cross-platform. So you can play with the PC and the Xbox.
Yeah. Not the PS4 because, you know,
well, it's Halo.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was enjoying it. I was trying to finish all the challenges for the like it's like a cyberpunk sort of aesthetic. This event, I don't know if you know this, but Halo. Let me explain a little bit. Halo Infinite has events every so often where you can only unlock certain cosmetics in that window. So in order to do that, you have to do. Usually, it highlights a game mode type. So this game mode for this event that ended January. Oh my god, the new one just opened up again. I just realized. Sorry, backtrack. That event ended January 31st. And it was focusing on the attrition game mode, which is kind of cool. It's basically team deathmatch, but each team only gets, so it's teams of 4. You only get 8 respawns each, so technically each person can die twice.
Oh shit!
So per round, and there's 3 rounds, so it's best of 3.
I'd be done.
Exactly. So like you can't. It makes you be a little bit more tactical. You can't just be spraying and spraying.
But that game is not a tactical game for me.
Well, not really tactical, but like. You'll double peek around the corner instead of just sprinting around the corner. You know what I mean? Like if you watch somebody jump into a Banshee, like run away. Or if they go and grab the sniper rifle, don't just run at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chronic, you ever play Halo?
Just when I was little, the first one. That's it.
Yeah. This one's fun.
I don't even remember it, to be honest. I remember I had a good time on it.
Yeah. I was never a Halo person, Chronic. I was always a Call of Duty guy. But
yeah,
then
me too.
Until basically this game, I didn't. Playing the beta for this, I went into it with much more open eyes than I normally do, and I realized, oh, hey, stupid, the mechanics in this game are completely different than Call of Duty. It's not supposed to be like instant twitch and kill somebody. It's supposed to be kind of hard to kill people. You fucking moron, referring to myself.
The time to kill in that game is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Right.
That much I know.
Which I did not grasp when in like my younger Halo 2 years, being like Black Ops 2, Halo 3, be like insta kill. This is fun. Like, why isn't this insta kill? This game is terrible. I hate it. So, anyways, that was my.
But it's
you had your COD blinders on.
Well, exactly.
I played the. I will agree with you. Like I played some of the multiplayer. And it took me like 3 games to understand the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Because it does play so differently than Call of Duties or Apex Legends or whatever other game you're playing.
Anything like that, yeah.
Right. Any other game. And 2, the mechanics are there's not really any aiming down sights. It's like third person aiming. So it's like different. It takes some getting used to.
Unless you have like a sniper rifle, essentially.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different type of game. So would you say you're enjoying the multiplayer more than the campaign?
Yeah, definitely. Not that I'm not enjoying the campaign, but for this style of game, this is obviously a first-person shooter, and it's meant for that. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't enjoy, compared to like an single-player action RPG, this campaign is not. It's trying to like split the difference between just a shooter and an RPG, and it's not really doing it. The shooter part's fine, but it's not really doing the RPG part justice. And for story content, I way prefer a real RPG. You know what I mean? So like, and it's not that the campaign's bad. It's just it's not the flavor that I want. You know what I mean? Whereas the multiplayer is just like I know what I'm getting, and it's nailing what it's trying to do. You know what I mean? Versus the story is trying to kind of be an RPG, and it's not nailing that. So I've definitely liked the multiplayer more.
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm just enjoying, but I am enjoying the campaign still. It's cool content. I really want to see what the heck happens with the story next. I don't want to spoil things for folks, but speaking of spoilers, the Book of Boba Fett, aka Book of Mandalorian, episode 6 was amazing, but let's talk about that later. So we'll do a real spoiler alert for people to turn it off, but that was awesome. That like changed my whole world yesterday when I watched it. Anywho, that's it for me, basically. I just played a lot of Halo this weekend. Marcus, how's it going, and what have you been up to?
Destiny 2. So like I said last week, I was going to do 1 week of Destiny 2. Tonight will be a question mark if I end up doing it. I probably will, even if it's just for an hour. But I haven't showered. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. So I don't know if I'll get to click the go live button, but I have gone live every day. Just playing Destiny 2 because I really wanted to, like, I wanted to feel the game, right? Like, I know what I get when I play SWTOR, the love, the frustration, all of it, right?
Okay.
But I feel like you can't know if you really love a game until you play the game a lot.
Like, yeah.
Right. And you play a lot of it solo because, like, playing with your friends can almost mask the fun because you're having fun with your friends rather than having fun playing the game. Does that make sense? And
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'll give an example. Like, I don't know when it was, last week or the week before, I did the legendary Lost Sectors all by myself. First time ever doing, I'm telling everybody, harder content. It's not the hardest content, but harder content.
Yeah.
And not having Ben or Kat or anybody to, like,
friends to carry you.
Yeah, help put me on their back and, like, carry me a little bit. And I'm a pretty big dude. It's tough. It's a challenge, but it makes you appreciate the game more. You know, and something that I really enjoy about Destiny is it's hard for me. Like, just the jumping mechanics sometimes I'm terrible at. In, like, all the little nuances of the game that I don't know yet that other people do, it makes it fun for me. And I feel like when I'm streaming it, you're getting the genuine me. You know what I mean? And for me now, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm going to be streaming it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then starting next week, I am going to be changing my stream schedule. I don't know what it's going to be, but I can't stream on Wednesday nights anymore. I don't know if it's like a mental thing, you guys, but Wednesdays for me, I'm exhausted. Maybe it's because it's the hump day and I'm beat from work and whatever. But, like, Wednesday nights, I'm like a zombie. I don't know what it is. And, like, last night, like, I was having fun playing the game. But you guys ever just play something and you're going, fuck, I should have really just taken the night off?
Yeah.
You ever feel like that?
Yep.
And that's how I was last night. And Nick telling me about Book of Boba Fett and, like, you have to watch it before bed was probably the best thing that happened to me, because by the end of my stream, which was 2 hours and 10 minutes and 34 seconds with a 10-minute intro period, which means exactly 2 hours, right, I was like,
I just want to get off and watch Boba Fett.
I just want to watch Boba Fett. I'm tired. And it was just one of those things, you know what I mean? But now, thinking about the streams moving forward, I don't know if it's like, because it's podcast day, I'm like re-energized, and it's not just the G Fuel talking. It's like, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I know exactly. Just to empathize for a second, I don't mean to cut you off, but
yes, you do.
Don't
bullshit me.
I'm saying my point is more important than your next one. It's
all right.
First. No, I was gonna say, I know exactly what you're saying. I feel like that was me this last Monday, being like, because, like, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time, like, literally fucking 45 minutes before I went live. So I was just like, I am not in no mood to stream. I mean, like, I was okay with it because it's been a while coming, but still, like,
yeah, but you stepped the fuck up. You went live, and your stream was dope.
It was fun. It ended up being good content.
It was great content. There were viewership. We were all chatting. Like, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And those are the surprising moments. And I'm going to use it as a bar example.
Okay.
How many times do you go out with your friends, or you say to somebody,
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not getting drunk tonight.
I'm just going for
hey, Chronic, we're going out for one drink tonight. And what happens? It's 4:30 in the morning and you're getting dropped off in an Uber, not remembering how you even got home.
And then the nights when you're like all hyped up, like, let's go, we're going to rage. And then it's like,
you're home early.
You're home at like 11:30. Yeah. It's like, well,
That's how life works, man.
but yeah, it's always when you're like, oh, I wasn't like, or you get the room, like I have a roommate now. You get the roommate knocking, dude, you gonna come out? I was like, I wasn't gonna. It's like, dude, just get dressed, let's go. It's like, all right, fine. I'm gonna drive myself though, because I'm not coming out long. And then it's always just like, well, your car's at the bar now,
right?
Because you didn't drive yourself home.
Can we just? I'm gonna do a quick sidebar. Remember earlier about the community really standing behind you in the fucking ride or die?
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking Roth. He just messaged in my like the Twitch Discord channel, like the sub channel, the Marcus B814 Twitch. And he just goes, "Where the F is the stream, bro?" Oh yeah, it's podcast night. Never mind. Like ride or die. Thanks, buddy.
Like expecting it. That's cool.
Like thanks, buddy. That means so much to me.
And especially because this is not your normal stream night. That means he's paying attention to your new schedule and expecting it based on the new schedule.
Right. Like, where are you? Chronic, Nick, I got like a tear in my eye thinking about that.
Of course.
That shit means something to me. And that's why I mentioned it here.
That's your core community right there, man.
Right.
That's, like you said, ride or die, the homies, the real ones, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. That fucking means the world. So, office update. The desk is glued up. Hopefully, I'll have it cut and sanded this week, and then hopefully I'll be installing it next week. So then, Rad Dad can come over and help me wire everything and get it all cleaned up, and then the COVID cave for Nick and me podcasting will be complete, and I will have a vent so when I rip ass, it doesn't destroy us during the podcast.
That was bad. Which episode was that?
It was like,
was that for Serp?
Oh, it was Serp.
I think it was Serp's episode. Marcus farted in there, and it was like biological warfare.
What the hell?
So like you can see him, Chronic, or just look on his stream. It's a tiny room. You know what I mean?
It's
like
not
6
big.
feet by 7 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet by 7 feet. This room is not big.
So like me and Marcus cram in there to do
with
the podcast
my old
usually.
Shitty desk that is not
meant for a small
desk.
space.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's not meant for two people. Then the last thing is, I turned my monitor vertical. I don't know if you guys have ever done this.
Your second monitor?
My second monitor?
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Like I had Discord on the bottom and the stream stuff on the top. It changed my world for viewing like Twitch. Cause like you guys know when your chat is at the bottom, you're constantly looking down at the camera. Now I'm like looking up at the camera when I'm reading the Twitch chat, and it was amazing. Like probably the best thing that I've done.
Wow. That's cool.
Other than that, so look for a new schedule next week. Believe it or not, my wife suggested that I stream Friday nights. She's like, we're not going anywhere. And,
why not?
Right. She's like, you should just stream Friday and Saturday and, skip Wednesday because you're like a walking zombie on Wednesdays.
Yeah. And because you stream, that's 2 days in a row too, which is tough. Especially if if it's 2 days in a row when you're working like the day before or like the day between.
I've streamed so many days in a row at this point. I've streamed every day since Saturday, right? Yeah. And I feel great, but I think it's like a mental thing about hump day. Like I just want to sit on the fucking couch, watch a book of Boba Fett, and just put my feet up, eat some peanut butter crackers, and just chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ritz.
Yeah. I think hashtag not a sponsor.
We should be sponsored.
By something.
No, my Ritz crackers. How legit would that be? My slogan would be Ritz crackers, one sleeve at a time. I'm sorry. In go ahead, Nick.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna make more Ritz cracker jokes, but I was clutching at straws.
All right. So
my thought process was crumbling before me.
So like I said, 12 days from
crackers
today.
Crumbling.
Yes, crackers crumbling. Yep, got it. You know what that is, Nick? Crickets.
I'm not going to quit my day job to be
Crickets.
Canadian. That's for sure.
In SWTOR news, just like get excited. I know maybe my earlier conversation means I'm not excited, but I fucking am excited. On February 15th, it's coming. Legacy of the Sith. It is fucking coming. Finally. 9 weeks late. The 10-year anniversary is going to be spread out over the year. We were supposed to get all of this at once, but instead they're spreading it out over the year because whatever. And stretch
it
it out.
out. Just like I did on Marcus's work sites.
Oh. It was a fucking waste of money. Anyways, so we got a couple messages. We're just going to read the brief parts. Nick, go.
Oh, so to our news. Hey, folks, our next cosplay kit is now available. Today we are featuring Satele Shan as she is currently seen in game. You can read more about it here. The kit itself is hosted on the BioWare digital media page alongside Lana Benico's cosplay kit. Enjoy. And also, hey, community, I want to start this post with a huge thank you to everyone who participated in the PTS and gave their input and feedback surrounding the 7.0 gearing system in our feedback thread. We appreciate your passion to make Star Wars: The Old Republic the best it can be. We want to share with you adjustments we've made based on your feedback after clarifying some misconceptions.
So basically, they broke down everything that was bad with the PTS and like things that needed to be tweaked. Because like anything else, when you test, you find things that are broken, that things that people don't enjoy. Yeah, they are tweaking really everything about the expansion before the release just to be able to get it ready, which I respect a lot. Why I really wanted to highlight this cosplay kit is basically they've given you a digital like zoom in look in what's that? Blender? Is Blender or software? Yes. Yeah. It's like a Blender type software. So you can actually make your cosplay gear. And the reason why I'm talking about it a lot is because Chronic has the Death Trooper real armor, like the real deal armor. And like now you can, if you wanted to, cosplay as Satele Shan or Lana Benico, they're giving you the tools. So if you're like Sith Lord Brit and want to make their cosplay, they're basically giving you the exact art from the game so you can build it off of that.
That's really awesome.
Right. Chronic, who made yours?
Armory Shop.
Okay. Yeah. So like, and when I say his armor is real, like the way it shines, it looks real.
Yeah.
If that, awesome. It's not homemade. I'll say that, and it's got to be hot under that helmet.
A little. Yeah, it is. Still working on piecing it all together with Sith Lord Brit. We just got to get the legs done. Like just rigging it. They're all completed. It's all screen accurate. Rogue, like right out of Rogue One. Just got to finish strapping it to my body at this point.
And what's sweet is you guys both live in a place where the pizza sucks. Anyways,
yeah. Okay. Imagine taking a shot at NYC pizza. What a mad lad.
Yes, I am. And I always will. But they got great donuts.
Marcus is like the definition of mad lad.
So in Destiny 2 news, holy shit. So with the expansion coming on 2/22/22, which Nick will be playing on day one, we got
probably will
a ton of news, right? Yeah. And as we learned last week, it's called TWA because it's this week at Bungie.
I can't believe it took you that long to figure it out.
I'm just an idiot. So I'm gonna highlight this. Nick, you want to read that real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you guys can appreciate when Marcus is buffering. So
what do you mean buffering? What am I buffering?
Your brain is buffering.
Oh, it's because I can't do two things at once.
Something. Oh yeah, and I can't either, by the way. But anyways,
listen, I don't fake that I'm a fucking idiot. Okay.
I know, but it's still fun to point out. Okay, it can't be a working class nerds if we don't have some kind of like ball busting going on.
Oh yeah, well it's because we didn't have Chronic. Chronic showed up with a real drink tonight. We can't even talk shit.
I know. Well, I will say I think it's weak sauce that he has not regrown the mustache.
I know. We didn't even talk about that.
Like I was gonna bring it up earlier, but you guys were getting all actually like into things, so I was like I didn't want to be it. Yeah, I didn't want to derail the whole conversation. Just be like, so where's the fucking mustache, man?
Yeah, we had no light banter. We just went right into the existential content creation stuff and bared our soul.
Exactly.
Where do we go from here now? Now we talk about pudding and mustaches.
Well, you
where
can
the
only go
fuck is
down.
it? Like, yeah. So I guess before we even talk about the TWAB, where is it and when is it coming back?
Right.
I don't know. I've been enjoying the stashlessness.
Well,
We grew it back for charity. We shaved it a second time for charity. Maybe we bring it back for charity again. I don't know.
just bring it back for Chronic.
Yeah.
Just bring it back.
Like, I feel like it's not the same without it.
What do you mean? What's not the same?
You. Like, it's
Me?
like you're too clean now. You
What
like
do you mean too
like
clean?
You're like corporate.
yes,
You're
you're
like
like
the office.
corporate Chronic. With the
That's what you
mustache,
get
you're
when
the
you look at me,
director Chronic.
Yeah, we want like gunslinging and does a little
Giving
cocaine on the
corporate vibes,
side.
is sure you
Get
want to
shit
get that
done.
adjective.
Yes.
God.
Oh shit,
Chronic.
corporate Chronic to and when you have the mustache, you are actually director Chronic.
Yeah,
I like
Right.
that.
Okay.
That's gonna stick.
Listen, I get asked that at least once a stream, no matter what I'm streaming.
Where's the
Where's the
mustache?
stash? When is it coming back? Some variation of that question.
Yes,
So,
I agree.
I mean,
or you should
I
grow
I
one
had
with,
it
like,
today.
or you should have the handlebars.
That did get annoying for me when I did that, but I will say the thing for
we'll
me,
see.
obviously, I don't have to tell you how to grow a mustache, but the most annoying part for me,
No, he has the most electrifying mustache in all of Twitch.
I know.
I like that.
Well, I was just gonna relate for a second, but like the thing for me that I like when in the growing process is I have an eyebrow trimmer. Like I would just take the guard thingy off it, not for literal eyebrows or nose trimmers, whatever. It's the same thing. The little like AAA battery guy. I would just take it and trim it off my lip because that like would drive me nuts when it like is all in your
Hey,
mouth all the time.
And just so
Yeah, I
we're
have a
clear,
mustache
eh,
kit that has like scissors and stuff.
yeah. So
There you
like,
go.
just so we know, like what he's actually talking about when he puts his double A's in, it's called his Bob. It's his battery operated boyfriend. Okay, and it vibrates. All
No,
right.
no, that thing takes D batteries. Okay, I ain't no bitch.
Damn, he said D battery.
Yeah.
Remember the old the quick sidebar before we go to the TWAB. Remember the lightsabers, the old ones? Those things would have like C or D batteries. They would weigh like 3 pounds or something. The handles of them.
Yeah. And
With
now
the
they're all
telescoping.
now they're all like a rechargeable battery pack.
Yeah, that's way better. But
Anyways,
Anywho, this week at Bungie, as of today, we've got a lot going on. Hello and welcome to another installment of This Week at Bungie, our weekly source of news and chatter from around the studio. Nothing too wild happening this week, right? Just your normal Monday morning announcement of Bungie joined Sony Interactive Entertainment. Well, okay, this is kind of a big deal.
yeah, so Sony was acquired by Bungie. We'll talk about
Reverse of that.
whatever.
Bungie was acquired by Sony. They bought them.
Yes,
For
bought them.
billions of dollars.
billions of dollars. And so they broke down everything that's coming because like the expansion is coming very soon, and they're breaking down weapon crafting, perks, guns, like everything.
Mm-hmm. They basically say like, hey, we're not going to prioritize any console or like any device on which you play the game over another one. We're always trying to, they emphasize like we're always trying to make the experience of a Bungie game, especially Destiny, the same across PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Doesn't matter that we just got bought by Sony,
Right.
essentially.
But I just want to, Nick, scroll down. I just want to read this because they actually mentioned the preload for the expansion.
Okay.
And it's kind of a big deal because like within the expansion, you want to know when you're going to be able to, like, if you've preloaded it or download, oh my God, pre-ordered a game, you want to know when you can download it. So then when it's available, you can play it.
Yeah.
But just want to say, they said today, and if you want a breakdown of the TWAB, go to Datto, Datto on YouTube. He breaks it down for like an hour. That's how much content they dropped today. It's way too much for this podcast to talk about.
Yeah.
As we get closer, I'll be talking about it more and more, or maybe I'll like self-record prior to, because there's so much stuff coming out. But what I do want to say is 1 million people have pre-ordered the expansion.
not just are playing the game, that just pre-ordered the expansion.
Is that crazy? Is that a crazy thing to say, or am I just crazy?
I feel like that's an enormous number of pre-orders for like a live service game that's not new. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Chronic?
Honestly, I don't know too much about the Bungie acquisition. I was trying to read up on it earlier today and see how they were going to be marketing all this.
But what I'm saying is 1 million people have pre-ordered this expansion.
For
like,
Destiny 2.
Like, that seems like a crazy number to me, and maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's not. But I was thinking about it. 1 million people have already pre-ordered the game. That's crazy to me because
which means so like that
I don't know. After New World, it doesn't really. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a new game,
right?
So
this is an expansion.
This is an expansion, and I'm pretty sure if you pre-order it, you prepay for it because it's an expansion, not a new game where you pay for it once it's released.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it's crazy to me that I think that it's, maybe it's crazy that I think 1 million people pre-order is crazy, but I don't know. Anyways,
how much is the expansion?
$40.
All right,
it's not cheap.
I mean, that's almost a new game,
right?
$20 off of a new title.
Here's the crazy part: is it's $40 for the base edition, but it's like $100 or $80 if you want to pre-buy all the seasons ahead of time.
Oh, so we are in new game price territory.
Yes. So like you get all the seasonal content and everything. It's like $80. If 1 million people pre-ordered it and paid for it, that's $80 million pre-ordered.
Right.
That's
just
fucking crazy.
Never mind the people that are going to wait a little bit and then buy it later, which is probably at least double that.
Well, they're going to have I'm sure there's going to be TV commercials and YouTube commercials for it. And I'm sure the marketing department is going to try to blow it up. Think about how many people played Beyond Light or New World, like after the game was released because of all of the commercials and ads that they put everywhere. Like every fucking ad on Twitch was New World if you weren't subscribed to somebody's channel. But
it's crazy.
Anyways,
that's a lot. I'm excited. I'm happy for them. It seems like a lot of people really enjoy this game.
Oh, you're playing the fucking game.
Right. And I get to try it now because Marcus is going to buy it for me. So I'm really pumped about that $80 edition where I get all the seasons.
No, I'll buy you the 40. And if you like the game, I will buy you your seasons.
I know.
You guys heard it here first. I just called myself out. Anyways.
I'm just being obnoxious.
So
but
they
in AIE news. Oh, no. More. Go ahead.
No. Do you see the green?
No.
Oh, I'll read it. So they gave us a pre-launch to prepare for the launch of the Witch Queen on February 22nd. Destiny 2 will undergo a scheduled downtime from 10 p.m. Eastern time on February 21st till oh my god,
noon on Eastern,
until noon the next day on the 22nd for downtime. At this TWAB is running a pretty long. We'll do the math for you. That's 14 hours of downtime. We hope you can use this time to get some sleep, prep some tasty food, or do whatever your heart desires before diving into the Witch Queen. With the announcement of the 1 million Guardians having pre-ordered, we're also expecting a bit of a queue as things open up. Please stay tuned for additional details. Holy fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, we know that you guys are not going to all be able to get on at the same time.
Right.
Once you open back up. So just expect a line, basically.
Right. And it's going to be crazy. I will be there day one. I'm probably going to work a half a day, and I'm probably going to start streaming at like noon, and I'm just going to sit in the queue and hang out with everybody because I want to be there for the start of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm ready. In AIE news,
Tuesdays are the place to be in AIE. Tuesdays are our mandatory fun night where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. That runs every Tuesday night. We're talking about Star Wars Old Republic here, of course, from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to whenever. But that's a fun, awesome night of the week. When is Hardball Flashpoints? Fridays?
Mondays. The first Friday of every month.
Fridays or Mondays? You said 2 days there.
It's Fridays. Sorry, it's the first Friday of every month. I'm sorry.
So the first Friday of every month is the Master Mode Flashpoints, which is the most difficult flavor of group content in Star Wars: The Old Republic. That is groups of up to 4 people, and you're running about 45 minutes to an hour of PvE fun. So the Master Mode Flashpoints often give you cool mounts. Master Mode being the most difficult version of a Flashpoint. So essentially, on Friday nights, we go mount hunting to get people cool mounts for their tunes. And the fourth Saturday of every month is the most important AIE event of the month.
What is that?
It's very exciting.
It is?
It's 4 Saturdays worth of fun. So, Chronic, I don't know if you're aware of what 4 Saturdays sounds like, but it's a little intense.
Lay it on me.
It's Saturday, and it's Mega, the monthly Epic Guild activity, where we'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
And last Saturday was the first Mega of 2022, that is, and we did a world boss hunt. It was fucking awesome. Like, I had so much fun. And I planted 6 tunes at different world bosses. Stask helped out and had 2. We ended up doing some extra ones. There was fun. I died. It was great. Like, I got lost. Max put us in ridiculous spots when they zoned us in. Like, we had a shit ton of fun. And this month will be just as much fun. As you know, February just started. So it will be the last Saturday of the month. What we're going to do is kind of going to be really reflective on the expansion, because with the expansion and now there's a new gear grind, I am sure we're going to be doing stuff to help people achieve gear in the game. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Jump in the Discord, the link for which you can find at the top right-hand corner of the website, and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars: The Old Republic or any of the other games we play. And we mean any of the other games we play. We're talking Destiny 2. We're talking Guild Wars 2. We're talking Elder Scrolls Online. We're talking Sea of Thieves. We're talking Pokemon. Whatever you play, so do we. So we would love to have you.
All right. We've been going for a long time. I guarantee Nick has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I definitely do. So we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're talking about all kinds of gaming news and Star Wars content and some hot take topics for Director Chronic here. So starting things off, Marcus, what do we got?
So I just want to just briefly touch on what we mentioned earlier and what's happening in the gaming space. So this week, Sony purchased Bungie for $3.6 billion.
Yeah.
Right. And last week or the week before, Activision Blizzard was purchased by Microsoft.
Right.
So my question to you guys to start it off is this the new trend where all of the big companies are going to start buying all the studios just so they can, are they going to just start flexing and going, I need to own them all? You know what I mean? And is this the direction we're going? What do you think?
Well, I can start if we'd like. I mean, I think eventually, yeah, this is kind of a trend happening with all kinds of different tech companies, right? They're like, the best thing to have is a monopoly on something. So it makes sense that larger development companies and gaming companies are going to be buying the smaller ones. And it makes sense because, like, obviously Microsoft and Sony are not only into gaming, they have tons of other products and things that they can sell. So they have way more profits and a bigger money pool to pull from. So, and if their gaming acquisitions don't pan out, it's not devastating for their core business. That's only, one segment of things. So if I had to guess, yeah, more companies are going to get bought like that. But I think it's ultimately, I don't know if it's going to end up being good or bad for consumers, but I think if you have Microsoft and Sony buying different studios, that's going to increase the competition between the two. So I don't know. I figured it can't be a whole lot worse than the current space where like games are always released half finished. You know what I mean? I would hope that maybe these bigger companies that have divisions in other areas of products don't let them release broken products anymore. You know what I mean? That's my hope. But obviously, I know typically large corporations buying small ones is not good for the product usually, but I'm hoping in this case it is with a little bit more oversight, you know, and more like it. I think this will provide more like opportunity to like do something risky with a game rather than something you know is going to make money. If that makes sense, because if Microsoft owns Activision now, Activision can do something funky and that they don't sorry, let me backtrack a little. Activision, for example, can make a Call of Duty game that has a completely different game mode than something they've ever done, and that's doesn't have loot boxes and doesn't have a season pass that you might not make money on, but they're going to support it because it's a good product. And like you don't have to make money with that necessarily because you're owned by Microsoft now, because Microsoft has money coming in from all over the place. You get what I'm saying? But on the flip side, you could have the opposite happening, saying like, hey, we only got to be this big company because we care about profit. So I'm optimistic about it. I'm hoping it makes better products for us, but I can see how it'd be the other way too, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Chronic, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
Well, Microsoft has some catching up to do as far as like the gaming market on Sony. I do know that much, at least revenue wise. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I wish I knew the answer to this. I think I'm learning details about what's going on, with the latest purchase, but it does seem to be going the monopoly route where it's going to be like the two Goliaths, Microsoft versus Sony, at least from my layman's view. It looks like they're just going to be swooping up on these studios. The thing that I will say that I like about it is that it does seem that they're letting these studios independently operate after the takeover. And I hope it stays that way.
Right.
I hope that the higher ups and the respective companies don't start, which I feel like it's going to happen, but let's just pray that it doesn't, that they don't start pushing down all the things that like a company like EA really fucked up with Star Wars and stuff, just bad business choices with loot boxes and all this crap. Like, these a lot of these studios that are being purchased have really, really amazing titles,
right.
Like Halo and like you can't really fuck with that. And, I saw what EA did with something like Star Wars and, nothing's immune. You think Halo's immune or, any of your other favorite titles are immune? Like that's my number one concern, to be honest. Like allow these studios to run independently. It's okay if you gobble them up, you're Pac-Manning the board. You're just gobbling each one up. Like Marcus was saying, like, let's just see who can flex the most studios. But my God, like, can we just not make everything cookie cutter? Like, can we let these directors in the studios and game designers do what they do best and not have it all be, under one like not so seemingly under one umbrella is what I'm trying to say. Like, let's keep the creativity alive is my point.
So I do agree with both of you, but where I think this is going to go, in my opinion, is I think 5 or 10 years from now, if you want to play games, you're going to buy the Xbox Game Pass and pay $15 a month, and you're going to buy the Sony Game Pass and pay $15 a month. And I think that's how you're going to play games in the future. And you're still going to be able to purchase the games, but I think for the most part, that's the goal. Because something that Sony said that, well, Microsoft has always been this way. And they've always been transparent. Like, look at the point of Xbox first party games is it's available day one on Game Pass, right?
Right.
Where Sony has come out and said, our goal is to get our first party games to all of the people. And I think Sony realized now, I don't talk to Sony, so I don't actually know. Excuse me. But Sony is realizing how much money they made with Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War 2018 hitting the
Spider-Man.
PC, and they're charging full fucking price for them. Like you're playing two 2018 games for $60. And people are paying it each, and people are paying it, no questions asked.
Yeah, look at me.
Well, right.
Well, you bought Horizon Zero Dawn, but
well, right.
You know what I mean.
Well, it's because Fallout sucks. But my point is, I think it's good. Now, I don't think Sony bought Bungie for Destiny. I think Sony bought Bungie for their live service department, because Bungie clearly has a division of the studio that is focused on live service, and whatever they have done for the live service version has clearly been good, right?
It's been working. Yeah.
It's working. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
same thing with Microsoft. I think Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, I think they bought it for BattleNet. And I mean, obviously the other IPs or something, but if you look at, like, other than Steam, BattleNet is the best launcher on PC for gaming. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It works. It has all the integration. All Microsoft, instead of it being BattleNet, just make it Microsoft Net, or keep it BattleNet and just put every fucking Game Pass and all on that, and you're done. Like, wash your hands. It instantly works.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this was.
It's like an Egyptian dance you got going on.
I was
there.
walking like an Egyptian. But anyway, I'm eager to see where it goes, but I would say plan on, I'm not saying, like, I'm not thinking short-term games with Bungie or even Microsoft, but like, I think it's no longer about consoles, it's about content. And I've said this a million times.
I hope so.
Well, no, it is. It's no longer about the systems, because why are you stressing out about buying an Xbox or a PlayStation when you can play most of the games on your PC, right? And now with a cloud gaming service, like, if it's a single player game, they play pretty well with a good connection. Obviously, like the live games or like the multiplayer games, it's a little hard because now you're relying on bandwidth and ping and all this stuff. You're streaming a game and streaming in real time, like playing the game. So I think in that sense, Microsoft definitely has the upper hand because they're a computer company, not a content company or a TV company, I should say. So
movie or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So I think the thing that scares me, though, is, like Chronic said earlier, if 5 years from now, Microsoft and Tencent and Sony own every every single game company, where does the creativity go out the window when they're like, look, we're going to keep selling Call of Duties because it makes money. We don't need to update the engine from 2004. It still sells. Like, why are we going to update it and spend $1 million on a new engine when we can just keep selling the same fucking shit over and over and people are going to buy it?
Yeah.
So I see it both ways, but that's
kind of the point I was trying to make, is like,
right.
Maybe because the content is competing directly with Sony, each company's going to make it better content and just, up the quality. Or it could go the opposite route where they're like, we don't care about the quality, just pump it out. You know what I mean?
Chronic, who owns Dead by Daylight?
Behavior, based out of Montreal.
And they're an independent company? Or are they owned by somebody bigger?
I don't believe they have one. I can look it up real quick.
Sure. I'm just curious. Because Nick, while you're looking,
No, they're independent.
Okay. So Nick posted a picture in the Nerds Community Discord, I think under his subreddit channel.
Yeah, it was in the Nick's lab.
Nick's lab. He posted a picture, and it's like of a circle of all the game studios and who owns
their logos.
Them. And it was wild to see that, like, some of the studios
that you kind of think of are like as independent are actually owned all by the same company.
Right. But you don't see that difference.
Right.
And something that boggled my mind in the Microsoft acquisition, when Microsoft is in the acquisition period of Activision, you know what game Activision owns that makes billions of dollars? Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
I almost died. I was like, wait a minute, that's an Activision game.
Yeah, what is it? Mahjong or something? Is that the people that make that?
Yeah, Mahjong, something like that. Mahjong, maybe it's Mahjong. I don't know, but it's crazy to me when you think about it.
Okay,
and it's just like anything else, right? Like Heinz ketchup. Did you know that Heinz ketchup is owned by the Kraft company? Kraft macaroni and cheese owns the ketchup that we all eat. Like household name brands of shit. You know what I mean? Just wild. It's all connected. I don't know. All right. Spoilers, everybody. Spoilers. If you have not watched episode 6 of Boba Fett, turn this shit off. Chronic, tell everybody where they can find you.
Twitch.tv, Director Chronic.
With a
CHR. Yeah, CH Chronic. Yes.
And
thank you, Nick.
And everybody, you're doing yourself a disservice if you do not follow this man.
Yeah, I agreed.
100%. You want to see tip top studio quality, stream quality. You want to aspire to be a streamer, like watch his stream. It's amazing what he has going on in his stream. But anyways, spoilers. Chronic, I'm asking you first, putting you on the hot seat. Boba, episode 6. Were you blown away? Like, what do you got for us?
Yeah, it was the best piece of Star Wars content I've seen in a very long time.
Me
Probably
too.
since Rogue One. That was insane.
I think I like this more than Rogue One, but Rogue One was also amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just like, yeah. Oh, I mean, there were so many intertwining characters and stories that made for jaw-dropping moments. You know, Cad Bane in live action,
Yes.
Ahsoka with Luke. Looking at Ahsoka and Luke in live action after watching Clone Wars and watching Ahsoka and Anakin side by side, season after season, and all that, and then. Oh my God.
That line,
I could just go on and on. And the
I'm
line
a friend of the
you're
family.
so much like your father.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm going right for the good stuff. I'm not sugarcoating this. Like,
hell no.
Well,
damn, there's just too much good stuff. It was just amazing. And it's hard to compare to like a movie like Rogue One. But I guess the point I meant was like, I have not been this revved up, fired up, just like just in awe of content until this last episode.
Yes.
This is absolutely phenomenal.
And I melted when I saw R2-D2 and I knew it was fucking him. I knew it.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh my God. I like legit paused the show and just took a breath. And you think about it, like you don't realize what Star Wars means to you until the moment where you get that piece of content. Whatever it is, whatever your Star Wars is, when you get that one piece of content, you literally take a breath and go, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And I legit paused it because I was just blown away. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, I have a larger point I want to make. Remind me about film genres.
No, go.
If you can.
Now. Right now.
No, two things. First thing, off this thing being blown away by something, I got blown away like 3 times in this episode. When I saw R2, I knew Luke was going to be it, so that wasn't so crazy. But I got blown away with how much better his facial like deep fake technology was. And that's definitely due to that Redditor that got hired. I don't know if you saw that.
I feel like they took it to heart after the Mandalorian cameo and people kind of shit on it a little bit. But wow, they really did a great job this time around.
But you know what I'm talking about though, Chronic? So this gentleman does a YouTube channel that was all about deep fakes and like making deep fakes and like really, really, really good ones. And then of course when the Mandalorian episode came out with Luke's deep fake swap of his face.
Yeah, he put like the comparison video. Is this the same guy?
Yeah, and then Lucasfilm saw that and hired him.
That's crazy.
And then he worked on this episode, obviously.
That's amazing.
That's really cool for it to go from
and it was better. It was better.
By a lot.
Yeah, it's subjectively better.
It was it's just crazy because in that Mandalorian episode, it was bad when you saw it, and it was really hard to get it to the bad spot. So like they limited the amount of time that you saw the face. Anyways,
some people said they liked it. That's why I was like, and for Mandalorian, but I don't know. I didn't think it looked like Luke, like personally. But this is one of those things that is a little subjective. But I felt like overwhelmingly everybody agreed the CGI for Luke was a lot better.
Oh my God, way better. It was like I thought at some points that they were using old footage or something that they had reclaimed. That's how good I thought it was. My only tweak, if I could really, I'd say it was like a 9 out of 10 for deepfakes. That's like one of the best usages I've ever seen. But especially because like he did talk and he did move a little bit, and the mouth animations were a bit stiff, and I feel like their eyes were a little too wide sometimes. But I'm like completely nitpicking. I thought that was amazing.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. It was like the best.
This is what's wrong with the Star Wars fandom, right? We're getting quality content. Stop fucking criticizing his eye spacing and his fucking mouth moving. You got to see Luke.
It was the best thing I've ever seen.
You got to see Luke fucking Skywalker use a lightsaber, teaching somebody, watch the fucking academy get built, and have him standing next to Ahsoka Tano that says, "You remind me of your father."
Yeah,
like,
it was amazing.
Like, stop fucking criticizing the deep fakes. That guy's fucking amazing. It's unbelievable, right?
Yeah. Okay, you're bringing up a good point.
Right.
I was trying to be like film criticky.
Yeah,
and
fuck
like
that.
I'm not trying to do that.
Like,
this is the best piece of Star Wars content I think I've ever seen. And I want to talk about a little bit more why. So real quick to go through that first thing I was saying, I got shocked when Ahsoka came in because on things I wasn't expecting. Like once we knew we were going to go visit Grogu, I'm like, okay, we're going to see Luke. And then we saw R2 and that confirmed. Obviously, if you see R2, you're going to see Luke too. So I knew that was coming. So seeing Ahsoka pop in, I was like, what? Like that same moment where I like paused it and I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Ahsoka. And then when, to a much, much, much lesser degree, when the Marshal came in, I thought that was cool too. I'm like, sweet, we get to see this character again.
I was still happy to see Marshall.
Oh, me too. But compared to Ahsoka, it was lesser.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, we're not gonna compare those.
Yeah, but
still a nice cameo and a nice moment with Mr. Cad Bane.
That's the one I really freaked out about. I saw him walking in, I was like, is that fucking Cad Bane?
That was one of the best entrances for a character in Star Wars history.
I love the whole scene. I love Westerns anyways. I love that whole genre, and that's the thing. Next thing I wanted to talk about was like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau both wrote it, and then Dave Filoni directed this one. They paid the like sort of duality between the two different original Star Wars influences, a Western and a samurai movie. Like you have Luke and Grogu in this sort of Asian inspired jungle themed place. There's bamboo growing. That's what's making me say that. But like very like master and apprentice, like Jedi Sensei teaching. It seems like it's taking like bits and pieces of like an old samurai movie.
Sure.
And I know Screen Crush like did I knew Rockstars too did a comparison on like you can see shot by shot. There's some parallels between samurai movies on purpose. And then, of course, the giant Western influences on Tatooine and in Cobb Vanth, the Marshal's town there. What do they call it? Is it just Freetown?
Freetown.
Yeah, in Freetown. And then, of course, the whole high noon showdown between Cad Bane and the Marshal was unbelievable. Well, and can we talk about Cad Bane's face, please?
Sure.
Because I thought they did a really, really good job with with how he looks. Because it makes sense in Clone Wars and Rebels too, where he's like everyone's terrified of Cad Bane, and it makes perfect sense when you see him here. He's scary looking, he's badass, he doesn't say anything, he just comes in, murders, and leaves.
Well, he is one of the best characters in the Clone Wars.
He was my favorite in Clone Wars.
Right. Okay, so perfect.
I would put him above every single other character that was introduced in Clone Wars.
Yes, me too. He's my favorite. And
well, how about Ventress though?
Well, I'm saying,
better.
Well, for the
I personally,
in the Clone Wars,
I like Cad Bane.
No. Ventress is one of my favorite characters, but Cad Bane as a character, like as the person, like the what they modeled him after and everything, it's unbelievable. And Cad Bane, like what I liked, and I was thinking about the whole time, is like there is not a chance the Marshal or that other guy is going to ever have a chance against this guy.
Never.
Like, without armor too, which he pointed out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, dude, you're done. Like done. Yeah. And
no shot even with it.
Right. Exactly.
I thought it was so cool how Cad Bane was like, he's intimidating on two fronts. He's got the physical intimidation because he looks scary. The skills intimidation because he's obviously confident and knows he's going to win. You can tell he's like carrying that presence with him. Like, I'm going to win this duel no matter what. So, and then he's giving all this background info on Cobb Vanth that like I know you're the Marshal. I know exactly who you are. I know you used to have armor and you don't have it anymore. So he has all this like it's almost like a spy movie or something where the the villain like knows all this background stuff
He's
about
done
the
his
secret
research,
agent.
which makes him even more intimidating. He's smart. He's a smart bounty hunter. Like,
he's not just like a quick shot guy and like a dumb thug. He's wicked smart too.
Wicked.
They're not just setting him in as just an assassin. He has the intellect to back it up, which I think makes him even creepier.
Exactly.
Can we just talk about the cinematography of that whole scene?
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about him walking up with the open desert background,
I had a fucking chills.
Wide lens shot, panoramic shot with just his silhouette walking in that hot desert,
beautiful
background. It was amazing, and it obviously rings to like a lot of old Western movies, and I don't know, I love that. But then even more particular, the way that they kept his hat down, the brim of his hat was down, and they didn't give you his face right away. And the dialogue ensued for moments before you even saw his full face.
Right.
And I just thought the cinematography alone was beautiful there.
Yeah.
And in revealing him.
And
that was so cool.
Well, and I'm just thinking about, this isn't the last time we see him.
No.
Because clearly he's on Pikes. He's with the Pikes. So guess what? Boba Fett is going after the fucking Pikes.
Yeah, Bane versus Boba. Is that what we're gearing up for? Because that's going to fucking blow my socks off.
Is it Bane versus Boba, or is it going to be Bane versus Mandalorian season 3? Because I don't think they're going to kill Cad Bane.
No, I don't think so.
Not
either.
a chance.
But I think we're going to get an epic fight scene next episode.
So here's my question: is there only one more episode, or is there two?
What?
One finale is this
okay,
week.
So my question is, how the fuck are they going to put all of this together? Because it's been the book of Mandalorian for 2 episodes. We haven't even seen fucking Boba Fett.
I think the finale is going to tether the two in, and we're going to be left with a humongous cliffhanger that's going to be Mandalorian season 4, because this was technically Mandalorian season 3.
Right.
And here's the other thing too. People are getting hung up over like, the memes are fucking hilarious, by the way. Like, Boba's rumor has it Boba Fett's going to make a cameo appearance in Book of Boba Fett next episode. Like, the memes are great, but you know what? I'm not upset about it. No. I'm really not, for 2 reasons. Number one, I love Boba as a character, but I'm not like infatuated with him like some of the fan bases. Like, he's interesting. I love him, especially in the original trilogy, even though he has like 7 minutes of screen time. I like the mystique of Boba. I like that part of him. I don't need to know his every want, wish, and desire and storyline. So I don't particularly care that it deviated from that. But my second point, and the more important point, is I really feel like this is just telling so many stories through both Mandalorian and Boba. It's just multi-storytelling. It's just a Star Wars show. And I think we're getting hung up on, maybe it was not the best PR move to call it Book of Boba. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we're getting this amazing Star Wars content. How are you going to sit there and see Luke and Ahsoka in live action, Cad Bane in live action, and get all of this amazing content, and then at the end of the day be like, well, Boba wasn't in his own show? We need to get past that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
we
who
need
cares?
to move past that point. At this point in time, we just need to understand it's all interchanged. We had an entire episode of Mandalorian that was all Ahsoka.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to be okay with that. Of course, Mando popped in eventually, just like Boba's going to pop in next episode. I really believe it's going to tether together at least somewhat at this final episode. But the point is, it's great content. Can't we just enjoy great content?
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, I'm not criticizing the CGI eye spacing, right?
All right.
But but it's
an error. Okay?
No, that's not an error. It's how you felt. You're overcritical. It's because of your that's how your mind thinks. But
I don't want you to think I didn't enjoy it, though.
But my ADD is going to kick in. So what I want to try to say here is, I'm really happy with where the show went, because for me, I liked Boba. He's not my favorite character, but I liked it.
Same.
But you know what I liked? I liked that we got 4 episodes of Boba fucking Fett and the story of him. Everybody wanted to know what happened to him from Sarlacc Pit on. Whether you can say episode 3 sucked with the little like slow poke Biff gang race through the streets of Tatooine. Whatever you want to say, because that reminded me of Back to the Future 2, and that Biff's crew on their skateboards going through chasing Marty McFly, right?
On the hoverboards.
On the hoverboards, right?
Automatic time Nikes.
pushing. But my point is, we got Boba's, I'm going origin story, because I think Boba Fett's origin story really starts at Sarlacc Pit, because that's the story we didn't know. Like, yeah, young Boba is seeing Jango's head get cut off, and like little young Boba going through the Clone Wars. Cool. Like, we all enjoyed that, but the real Boba we always wanted was Sarlacc Pit on Boba, right?
Right.
Like, what actually happened. And I'm happy that we got that content. I like of the story of what he's getting and how he's becoming, like, he's going to run Tatooine. I do agree with you that they gave Boba Fett. This is Boba. They named the show Book of Boba Fett because the fans wanted it. And I think after the terrible sequel trilogy and what they did to Star Wars, and even though I enjoyed the movies, I think this is the fan service that people wanted. And they only had enough content for probably 3 or 4 episodes. So they said, fuck it. Let's give Mandalorian in here. We're going to stop the Pikes. Boba's going to run Tatooine. Boba will be back in Mando season 3 to help. And let's move on and let's continue the story like the MCU did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, come on. And Luke and Ahsoka. And what I love.
That's what I wanted to say.
Right. But the other thing is I don't know if you heard it, but when Luke turned to Ahsoka and he gave Ahsoka his little whiny bitch voice, like, I was going to go to Tashi Station.
I don't know what to do with it.
Well, yeah. What am I ever going to see you again? Like, bro, you're a Jedi master. Like, what are you worried about fucking seeing Ahsoka again? But it just goes to show how young Luke still is in this timeline, right?
Yeah. He's
like,
powerful, but he's like doubting himself.
Correct.
Still.
And it shows how he's giving Grogu, like, look at, you had Mandalorian armor made for you, or you can have a lightsaber, but you must choose. Right.
Okay, wait.
And
can we talk about the episode before we get into the choice?
Sure.
Go
ahead.
I forgot one of my points, but the point I think I wanted to highlight, like, why so many people are freaking out and love this episode. Obviously, we have character cameos, but like, it ties in so many different facets of Star Wars content. Like, you've got Clone Wars meeting original trilogy, meeting this new TV, Mandalorian content that we love, all in one episode, and it all works and it all makes sense, and it was done great. So, like, not only is it just great content from one of those places or two of those places, you have great content of like meeting of characters that we've never seen meet before from all different medias before. And all different medias at the same time in the same episode. So I think that's like something unique, and why it brings it makes everybody so happy about this. You know what I mean? It's a really unique piece of content in that way.
I think some of it too is like justification for Clone Wars fans, because I know for a long time, now it's accepted as like, fully canonized Star Wars. I know it always has been, but there's a large part of the fan base. I remember like back when Clone Wars was like just starting to pop out.
Yeah.
People looked at it, and including, I'm going to expose myself here. Because before I really got into it, I just looked at it like, oh, it's a kiddie animated Star Wars show. That's not real Star Wars.
Yeah, me too.
People are probably like, oh my God, how could you? I mean, that's where my mind was when it came out. Now I watched it and I understand that, albeit some episodes were kind of, kiddie filler episodes, there were a lot of good storylines and great characters in Clone Wars.
Right.
I think what's going on right now with the live action content is validating. I don't know if validating is the right word, but it's really, it is. It's validating Clone Wars in a big way. You're watching an episode with fucking Mark Hamill's likeness as a young Luke Skywalker standing next to a live action interpretation of Ahsoka. And in another scene, we're seeing a live action interpretation of, my personal favorite character from Clone Wars, Cad Bane, which I never thought in a million years I would see that. And I think it's a really, really cool thing. And like you said, it's not just about the cameos, but again, it is. It's like, oh my God, I'm watching Cad Bane, but it's a real fucking actor. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And it looks like him, but it's a little different because it's real right now. Like, I don't know.
But it's the same
That
voice
added
actor, which
realness
is
to
cool.
it. Yeah, he sounded amazing, by the way, of course. But I don't know, man. Like, there's just a lot of emotions. You know, it was hard to like concentrate on like the nuances of like the dialogue and the scenes because I was so struck. Like, my jaw was just wide open on so many things. Like, it's definitely an episode I'm going to have to watch a couple times.
Right. Me too. I'm going to go back and rewatch it, I think. All right. Sorry, Marcus. I just wanted to get out my extra feelings there about the episode.
Well, no, you should. We all should. We're getting the best content we've ever seen for Star Wars now.
Right.
Like everything, like it doesn't matter what generation of Star Wars fan you are. This episode tied you to it.
Right.
Original, prequel, clone, doesn't matter. It was here today.
Something for everybody.
Something for everybody. And something that I like is, I think something that has always been said is how Tatooine has always been like a mess, right? And nobody's ever gotten along. It was always different crime families. I think this is going to unify Tatooine, and all of them are going to be like, okay, Boba Fett got rid of the bad guys. We got your back, bro.
Yeah.
And something significant about the Marshal that I liked is he came out with the same cocky ass attitude. And at the end of the day, he's just a regular dude like everybody else. Because Cad Bane shot him the fuck up. Clearly he's not dead, right?
No, yeah, he got hit in the shoulder.
Well, right.
But then the deputy got lit up.
Yeah, the deputy's dead. But Cad Bane knows that guy keeps order where he is. And if he killed him, there's a chance that there's going to be people who rebel against the Pikes.
Right.
It was definitely calculated that he did not kill him, because if Cad Bane wanted to kill him, that guy would be dead.
Exactly.
He would have shot him in the head. He wouldn't have shot him in the fucking chest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He shot him in his drawing arm so that he couldn't shoot him back.
So,
but
a couple questions that this episode did leave me, and a big one was Luke said to Grogu. So Luke basically trained Grogu with a nod to Yoda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Yoda.
By the way, I got Dagobah vibes from a lot of that. I don't know if you guys
100%.
that.
Yeah,
I just could not get Empire out of my head for so many shots.
That was on purpose. They were like mirroring a lot of the
like
the
Mando
training.
felt like Luke walking through the swamp.
Right. And
I really got that.
Right.
Man.
And
then you have a lot of like the roles are reversed. He's carrying Grogu in a backpack like he had to carry Yoda.
Yes,
right.
He's making Grogu do a lot of the same things that he had to do. He's sharing quotes with Yoda, obviously. Like that, like
size matters not.
Size matters not. Things like that. He's doing a lot of the same training. It's also a jungle planet with like some water in there.
But
so
I'm gonna ask.
It's definitely on purpose.
So he mentions to Ahsoka, Luke, that Grogu could be his first student. Now I don't know because I haven't gone back to The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah,
but did Luke say that Kylo was his first student, or did he just say he was a student?
No, he just said he was a student. But I thought Leia was his first student.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't have that answer.
I don't believe Luke said Kylo was his first student.
Okay.
I think he was a student.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you actually said something. Are we going to see Leia in the last episode visiting her brother?
That is a good question. Because in The Last Jedi, is it The Last Jedi or the Rise of Skywalker that we see? I think it was Rise of Skywalker that we saw like a flashback of them training together.
Right.
Where, Leia got Jedi training.
I don't know. I'm just, but again, there's only one more episode. And honestly, I
feel like you got to wrap up the stuff on Tatooine rather than pull
I'm going to go into like the choice, right? Because it leads to a lot of questions. So Luke which I don't understand because it's not the Jedi do not deal in absolutes, and he gave Grogu an absolute ultimatum.
But also Luke's still not 100%. He's a little darkened still. You know what I mean?
Well, I understand, but what I'm trying to say is he gave Grogu the chance of, do you want the armor? The choice. You want the armor or Yoda's lightsaber? And just for the record, crazy vibes with that fucking lightsaber. And that is much bigger than I remember it from the Clone Wars movie. When Yoda was dancing around with Dooku. But,
it's way shorter.
Right. No, I know it's shorter, but it looked bigger on screen because I was like, oh my God, that's Yoda's lightsaber. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But my point is, I don't know where all this goes. I'm like, because there's so many things. Like, yes, there's an Ahsoka show. She's riding off on the sunset. She's going to find Ezra and Thrawn. Fine. We all know that's coming because we know they've casted for Thrawn. They haven't confirmed it, but we know they are, right? Especially with like Cad Bane and everybody else coming. They're bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
In live action.
I'm pumped about.
Right. But then, so Mando season 3, right? Clearly it's going to be about the Mandalorians and the Darksaber.
Right.
Right? But how does how do I say this? Can the Mandalorian show move on from Grogu? Can the Star Wars fan base no longer have Grogu in it?
I feel like they're stuck together now.
Yeah, he's in it, dude.
Yeah.
So then he's going to make the choice
and pick Mandalorian.
Or
do we?
Well, see, here's my thought. I feel like
do we?
Yes.
I feel like it's
I'm leaning the other way.
I feel like it's an illusion of choice. Like, I feel like no matter what he chooses, Luke's gonna. Okay, let me put it this way: I think if Grogu chooses the Mandalorian armor, you never see Luke again, and he actually is like, okay, go do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think if he chooses the lightsaber, I think Luke would eventually give him the Mandalorian armor. Like, once he's solidified more in his training and not so wishy-washy. And I think if that's the case, I think either way, Grogu ends up showing back up in the Mandalorian's life, like Din Djarin's life. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Luke will be back after this episode. I think the CGI is going to cost so much money. I don't foresee us getting more Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight in Mando season 3.
No, maybe in Ahsoka though.
I don't think so. Well, it's just
Maybe.
It's just tinfoil hat.
You really think money is going to be a limiting factor?
I feel like probably not at this point.
I feel like if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a hard-on for an idea, I don't think budget's going to get in the way for CGI.
Well,
yeah.
I'm saying that how much are you going to have Luke around? Unless
okay, but that's a better argument. So if you're going to say that Luke has told his part of the story, I could get on board with that.
Maybe that's what I mean. Maybe it's not the CGI and the money.
That's a good point. I feel like we probably don't need to see Luke again now.
I agree. I love seeing Luke. Trust me. Oh my God. Like,
well, yeah, of course.
Me? But only if he's serving a purpose. I don't want to see Luke just to fucking see Luke. It should be a big, powerful moment when he takes the screen.
Right.
You know?
So now, and I just keep going to Mando season 3. Like, how do they tie it all together? Or maybe like they end up on Tatooine in episode 7 at Boba, and Luke and Grogu help Boba stop the Pikes. I don't know. I don't know how this ends. And like,
imagine seeing Luke back in Jabba's palace.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That would be so cool.
And,
oh my God.
Yes. And how long is this last episode going to be?
I hope long, obviously.
I hope at least an hour. They've been like flirting with like 48, 49 minutes on some episodes.
Well, right. But like, that's a lot. Like, we don't even know what's going to happen to end it.
Oh.
Like, I feel like they veered off the main course.
Yes.
Like we're sitting down
We're on
at
a
the
roller
main course
coaster.
dinner, and they were like, "Oh yeah, before we bring the main course, let's go eat some more appetizers for a while."
Right. And we're gonna give you some dessert.
Right,
And some
exactly.
yeah.
And like we haven't even
I
circled
know
back.
this is
Right.
yeah, I know this is a steak place, but we're gonna go give you like I don't even know Indian food for a couple dishes too.
Right.
And it's not that I don't like this other food. It's just
It's
not
like
what I expected.
exactly.
Right now.
It's
Well, I don't-
amazing.
Yes, I don't think anybody expected this. I don't think anybody expected this.
Right.
All right. My final question for you two knuckleheads. Ready?
Okay.
Where does Star Wars go from here? So I'm talking after episode 7 of Boba Fett. Do you think they ever make another movie? A. And B, where does this go?
When you say make another movie, you mean well, we know they're gonna make movies. So
Well, it's good. The next movies are going to be the High Republic because that's their
Mhm.
content. I don't think we're ever going to get original movies again, like the original
Really?
Trilogies.
trilogies.
Well, yeah, not Skywalker Saga,
Right.
obviously.
Skywalker Saga. That's
Okay.
a way to put it.
I'm done with the sagas.
Me too.
Honestly, the standalone movies, in my opinion, were better than the last trilogy. So I
Yeah.
think you could just ride out on standalones and not have the pressure and burden of flushing out 3 connecting stories, because clearly they struggle with that. I mean, I'm like you. I enjoyed some of the sequel movies and some aspects of them, but you'd just be blind or naive to not know that it was kind of tethered together, kind of haphazardly.
Well,
Right.
I don't want to see that
I'm
again.
gonna-
Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
I was going to say, well, I'm going to tell you what, the first trilogy of the High Republic, if they put that on screen, it's going to be fucking amazing. Like, that is some shit.
I love High Republic era, so I'm down for all of that. I just want consistency with the storytelling.
I agree.
That's
That
all.
was my
That's
biggest
all I asked
gripe
for.
with
Yeah,
the
that's
sequel
all I asked
trilogy.
for.
All right, so I'm going to ask the question one more time because we kind of did a sidebar. Where does Star Wars go from here?
Personally, I think it goes outward and comes back together. So with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau leading things, I think it's going to be just like the MCU build up. Is you're going to have lots of shows like they are. They're going to be intertwined like this, which I'm absolutely loving. And then you're going to get eventually they're going to come back together for some big galaxy-wide catastrophic conflict. I don't know how that works in this narrative time frame. I should say maybe they don't come back together for the conflict, but they're definitely going to go outward and keep expanding. You know, like
I also agree that there's going to be consistent intertwining. Like, I think from what we got so far from Mando and Book of Boba, clearly it's not just about the title character.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we can watch an episode of Mandalorian and have a whole episode on Ahsoka. We can watch 2 episodes of Boba and get more flushed out content from Mando, plus all the influx of all these other characters that have now come into live action for the very first time. So I think this is really exciting because it means that, like, even if you think something's going to go a certain way or seem a certain way, they can throw anything at us. And I think that's exciting. Like, I don't understand the raising the fist up at the air and being like, this isn't exactly what I thought it would be, which seems to happen with anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
When you're receiving content at this level and the storytelling that we're getting right now with these last few episodes, I'm very excited. And I'm excited for Kenobi. I'm excited for Andor. I mean, Andor is one that people are sleeping on, but we are going to be getting Death Star era TV series with who I thought was an amazing actor. You know, Cassian Andor, I thought was a great character from Rogue One. And we're going to get to explore an Empire era, which you guys know I'm a big Empire guy. So like, I am really looking forward to being in that original trilogy mindset with an Empire and like Rebel backstory. So like, I'm extra excited for that now. And Kenobi, I mean, that alone, I think is going to be the show of shows. But then hearing the stuff that we heard from Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and now seeing the type of risks that they're willing to take,
I know.
Oh my God, my interest is beyond peaked.
Me too. It would be cool to see. I hope Kenobi goes like a really wide time frame. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And now
Yeah.
I'm going off not the deep end, but off topic a little bit.
I think it's going to be 6 episodes. They say. I don't know what was confirmed.
I'm not entirely sure.
6, yeah.
But I hope they to get a little peek into the Clone Wars action where you get Hayden Christensen with the long hair still, plus obviously Darth Vader content.
Hayden in the suit.
Yes, yes. Get him in the
Sign me
suit.
up,
Let's
dude.
go.
Sign me up.
I'm in. I'm all in.
I'm excited to see Obi-Wan.
Me too.
And like now that we've gotten Luke, young like CGI Luke, are we going to get baby Luke, Tashi Station Luke?
Like a flashback or something?
Well, no, he's going to be in that timeline. Like Luke is going to be little Luke.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we do that though? Like tween Luke?
Yeah, tween. Like that's what I'm saying. Like nobody knows the actual timeline. The only thing is I just hope they don't fuck up the later parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm excited to see it. Yeah, it's because Obi-Wan comes out in November?
It's late this year, probably around there.
November. Oh no, maybe it's December.
I think Andor comes out first.
Yeah, Andor's in the
After
summer,
that.
isn't it?
I think.
No, Ahsoka. I don't fucking know. That's the thing.
We're getting so much
Right,
stuff.
we're getting so much content, and
the sky's the limit.
right,
now.
and like, just think about this: Dave Filoni and Favreau are like, this is all they're doing. That's it. Like they're creating a world, and they're bringing in different directors to do it because they're like, okay, we'll share the wealth here, do an episode here, do an episode. And it's basically trial. Like, hey, you did a good job on 2 episodes. Why don't you direct a show? Boom. There's your chance. But at the end of the day, Filoni and Favreau have creative control. And honestly, they're doing a better job than Lucas.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is Lucas drank the Kool-Aid and brought in Jar Jar Binks and did all these things and did the CGI when if he just stuck to his roots, he like Favreau and Filoni get it. And they're bringing in enough of both to bring it to life.
And they're bringing in very talented directors. And I think it's a very smart thing that they're worried more big picture and they're letting other directors come in that they trust with their content and letting them do the day-to-day. So they never take their eyes off the big picture. Like they're looking up like at it at like a zoomed out approach. You know what I mean? So then when they want the episodes executed, they're giving it to people like who directed the last episode?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce, oh my God, Bryce Dallas Howard, she destroyed it. Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
So they have talented directors that they're tagging in to do the day-to-day shooting.
Robert Rodriguez
I think that's
also
freeing them up to do the big picture stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. Quick sidebar. I just looked up Kenobi. Kenobi is going to be 6 1-hour-long episodes. Sometime in 2022, but unconfirmed when. Also, quick side note. There's a gentleman cast as the 5th brother, which that's the character's name, which is an Inquisitor. So we're getting Inquisitors in Kenobi, which is fucking awesome.
Again, tying it to Fallen Order.
I know. I'm so excited. And Rebels too, but still.
But like,
awesome.
That's what I mean. Like there's so much that they're like, honestly, like, okay. Can I tell you what my favorite part of all of Book of Boba Fett is?
What?
You guys ready?
Yes.
Little BD1.
I know. BD1 was I think they said it was not BD1, but it's a BD droid still.
No, it's a BD droid. I don't care. Like,
yeah, it's from Fallen Order.
And like, that's it. And for me, because like I play video games, and Star Wars, that was probably the best storytelling in a Star Wars video game ever.
Yeah.
And that to me was like, they're paying attention.
Yeah.
To all mediums.
To all of it. And when I saw BD1, I melted. Because BD1, like the emotion out of BD1 in Jedi Fallen Order, is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
BD1 made Fallen Order better because of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All right.
Ugh, it was awesome.
Chronic, tell everybody where they can find you again.
On Twitch, Director Chronic with the CH. Feel free to come in, say hi to our welcoming community, vibe out with us, talk some Star Wars.
talk about spritzers.
Spritzers, Star Wars. We talk about
Everything.
everything. We always talk about food too. Food is a reoccurring subject for sure.
I think food connects us all.
Yeah,
It definitely does.
sometimes a little more than usual.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll say it before we click the end button. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they put their maple syrup in the refrigerator.
That's just why.
Well, exactly. Thank you. The dumbest shit ever. When I
It's
met
not
Carrie,
required.
she's like, "You don't put your maple syrup in the fridge?" I'm like, "Fuck. You're putting it on a hot pancake? Who the fuck wants cold syrup on a hot pancake?"
Right.
Dumbest
What
shit
are you-
ever. And
what are you
dude, when
doing?
I talked about that on stream, the stream erupted like, "What is wrong with these people? Put them in jail."
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.